This episode of Off My Shelf contains coarse language and adult conversation. Listener discretion is advised. Hello, my name is Tracy James, and welcome to Off My Shelf, a podcast about movies that are, well, off my shelf, where we go through my DVDs and talk about the movies in my collection. We are starting 2025 with more Trek. My guest talked me into doing 2 more Star Trek episodes about the Next Generation movies. On this episode, we are talking Star Trek Generations and Star Trek First Contact. My guests today are Sean Archer.
Hello.
Josh Ratcliffe.
Make it so.
Tim McLennan.
I'm standing by.
And Steve McCabe.
Hello.
Welcome.
Hey.
Yay. We're back again.
We're back again. It's been like 2 months since we got to talk about Star Trek. I know you're holding it in, and you gotta let it all out.
I nearly exploded.
I believe it. I believe it.
Now this is a Patreon only episode, is that right?
Yeah,
Like and subscribe.
sure. Like and subscribe, everybody. Like and subscribe. As I was saying before we recorded, I have taken a lot of notes for these movies, as in more than 4 lines each. I have
More
3
than 4
pages.
notes?
I have 3 pages of notes, guys. I have
Whoa.
3 pages of notes.
Oh.
So, most of them aren't angry. There are a lot of question marks and what going on. So, yeah.
I'm going to say
Mostly
for one
generation. Yeah.
I was going to say for one of these movies, no notes.
Really?
No, I wrote down something, but nothing critical, let me tell you. I'll let
Critical
you
as
guys
in
guess
critical
which
as in
one.
important, or critical as in like you didn't like it?
Oh, none of my notes are ever important. I don't know if you guys heard me talk about Star Trek for 16 hours before, but not important comments I make.
I mean, I think Generations was interesting. I realized I hadn't watched either of these movies in a very long time. And when I thought about not even halfway, like 20 minutes into Generations, I was like, oh, I know why. But that was just me. I still enjoyed it. I don't hate either of these movies.
I
But-
kind of love Generations. I know I get shit on a lot, but except for when Picard goes into the Nexus, that kind of slows the movie down, I think. But overall, I really love it.
But him going into the Nexus makes it a Christmas movie. So,
Mm,
Yeah, it's
That's
only Christmas
true.
in Star Trek, right?
yeah.
yeah.
A beautifully shot Christmas scene. I have to say, I loved the lighting and all those weird fantasy sequences.
But
It
those
made me
children
go
are so
like,
creepy.
this
They're
looks
so
like,
creepy.
yeah.
Papa.
Oh, that I was like, how do I know that one kid?
The little
And he's
boy,
been in-
right?
Yeah,
Yes.
he's been in like a million things, and like he's like 35 and like still acting and stuff now. So like, good on
Wait,
that guy.
which
Yeah,
one?
for the creepy kid, like that looks like a doll that came to
The-
life.
Yeah.
Is
The,
it-
the oldest son?
No, not the
Picard's
oldest one.
son.
Or is it
Yeah.
Renee?
No,
Ren-
not Renee.
His nephew.
not-
The
Okay.
fantasy one, the
Well-
the made up one.
Well, the thing that annoyed me about it, well, I guess it's just how, time works. But in the original episode called what, Family Reunion or whatever, beginning of season 4, right?
Yeah, it's right
Um,
after Best of Both Worlds.
Both worlds. Renee is played by like Patrick Stewart's actual son.
Oh,
Oh.
And who also comes back later as he shows up 3 times. No, sorry, no, it's not his actual son. What it was, sorry, hold on, I'm getting my facts mixed up. So you know how there's an episode where Picard, Guinan, and Ro become children?
Yes.
Yeah.
mhm.
Okay.
Oh, it's
So
him.
Renee is played by the kid who plays kid version of Picard.
Yeah.
Oh.
I want to
you
see
go.
my dad now. Now.
Now. Yeah, that kid.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm getting my facts mixed up. No, the episode is what's the flute episode called that won the award?
Inner Light.
The Inner
Yeah.
Light.
Inner Light.
His
Yeah.
his son in that is his real life son. There
Oh,
you
that's
go.
right. The son who wants to be an artist.
Yes.
Mm.
Yes.
That's right.
So yeah. Sorry. I was getting my trivia mixed up.
He sounds
I
like a
apologize.
disappointment.
Yes. I mean, I guess we should go chronological. Start with Generations. This is great. I did think it was funny that they had to do a close up of the Dom Perignon bottle. I'm assuming they got like sponsorship or money from them.
I was
Quite
actually thinking it was
probable.
going to be Chateau Picard.
I was also thinking that, but
Yeah.
they don't do. I don't think they do sparkling wine. I think they just do like reds.
That is super nerdy trivia.
And nothing. War
Love it.
War Pace is wine. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I
he's
love that.
not a-
In
They
Picard.
they actually did a run of Chateau Picard.
Oh, yeah.
A few maybe actually it was just pre-pandemic, so like 2018, 2019. And I'm real mad that they didn't ship to Canada because one of those bottles was really cool.
Yes.
They
I
they
know.
had they had the old style like French chateau label, and then there was like the futuristic like Federation style bottle.
Mhm. But
That's
there
awesome.
were 3 liquors you could buy as well with it. Like you can get like a box set. It was like $300 or something. And
Huh?
yeah, the same thing. I wanted it shipped to Canada and they wouldn't ship it. And I was like, so mad. Yes. It was
Yeah, I
very
remember
upsetting.
we were at a board game party, Tracy, and we were talking about buying some,
Yeah.
and we never followed through.
Well, because one of the things was I was gonna go get it shipped to my uncle's place in New York, drive down, hang out, and then get it and bring it back. But it was very like, that's gonna be an expensive bottle of liquor, I'll tell you that.
For maybe not the best alcohol you've
Yeah.
ever had.
Or that I would never drink. Like I would just have it, you know.
Hmm.
It was a
Yeah.
very
Oh,
odd
I
thing.
definitely have.
a display bottle.
Yeah.
Yeah, Tim just shared an image of it, and it looks beautiful.
Mm.
Oh, it's a Zinfandel.
Ooh, that's a sweet red. That's fine.
Yeah, 2386 was a good year here.
Apparently. I actually had to rewind because I was like, oh, it should be, Chateau Picard. And I was like, oh, it's Dom Perignon. It's like, my note actually says, good to know Dom Perignon is still around in the 23rd century. That's my note. And I also have a question that followed that. How do you think they launched the bottle at the ship?
Oh,
Big slingshot.
I think
but-
they have another ship that shoots them.
they must have a contraption that does it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's got to be like in space dock. It's part of it, you know?
Like, it's just like when they build Space Dock, there's like a port for shooting wine bottles.
It's like a smaller photon tube. Just drink it down.
So like normally when you're christening like a boat ship,
Yeah.
it's like attached to a rope and the rope's attached to the ship. So that way
Oh.
there's like it's really hard to miss because you like throw the bottle and then gravity will take it into the ship.
Yeah, but there's like a person
doesn't work
holding
in
it
space.
and throws it, right?
Yeah.
So my
Uh,
thing, I was thinking like, what if there's some dude in a spacesuit doing like a spacewalk outside, just throwing the bottle at the ship? I don't
I
know.
feel like that's a possibility because like Starship's going to be pretty big.
Yeah.
Now,
Sorry.
do you think that he could have thrown it and then gotten back to the ship in time to see it explode? Or just like a good distance?
I mean, that's the beauty of it is you just give it like a little tiny push and like inertia does the rest. So it's possible. I mean
Yeah.
that intro credit sequence was fairly lengthy, so it's
Oh
possible.
my God. Yeah. And
But
they deleted a lot from it too. There's a lot of cut scenes from the opening of Generations. They actually made like action
Really?
figures. Yeah, there was supposed to be this whole like suborbital skydiving thing that Kirk did, and that was supposed to be like the introduction to him.
Oh, so
in
so
the
they used
movie?
it for the first Chris Pine movie.
Yeah,
Like the
yeah,
base
you're
of
right.
Space
Yeah, I
Race.
didn't think of that. Yeah. And it was supposed to be about him, taking these risks that he didn't need to take. Anyway,
Mhm.
I understand where they cut it. They probably had to film it to appease, Shatner. But
Mhm.
yeah,
Oh my God,
Yeah,
that
they needed to add a 15-minute space dock sequence. Just so it's just like the old original series movies,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
Just
1 and 2.
yeah. I did
You
like
didn't even see the space dock, just people inside it.
just saw the people inside.
Mhm.
I do like that we saw Tim Russ on the bridge in
Mhm.
that sequence.
Oh, did you
Also,
clock some of the other actors?
There's
yeah,
Jeanette Goldstein,
Yeah,
who's
that.
a science officer. She was killed by
But
both an alien and a Terminator.
she's
So
Vasquez. Yeah, one
it's
of the best
Vasquez. Yeah.
sci-fi characters ever.
Mhm.
I miss
Yeah, she
her.
has the red hair up, and I
Yeah.
think.
Well, as soon as she turned her face, I was like, I know this woman.
Mhm.
And I was like, who
Same.
is this person? And I
I
was looking
paused
at
it
like
and looked it up.
science officer, and I was like, I have to figure out who this is. And I was like, I don't like I don't know if it's like her hair or maybe it's because it was actually it's only like 3 or 4 years later from Aliens, right?
His Generations was 91, right?
94.
94. Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh man, I was only
TNG
12 when this
ended
came
in
out.
93.
Wow.
Yeah. When did Aliens come
Yeah.
out? Oh my God. Come on, load.
Did you recognize the helmsman? I think he has short red hair,
Oh,
like
sorry.
shaved.
Sorry.
Oh,
Aliens was
he's
actually
in so many
86.
He's
stuff.
I know him from 24. He played like the Secret
Yes.
Service agent, but
Oh,
he
yeah.
pops up and he's always a cop or a military general or like someone in a uniform.
I feel
Is
like
that
he
the
shows
guy
up
who
in Next
always
Gen
plays
too.
the bad guy? Is it
Not
that guy?
always.
No.
No,
He's
that's
just
Alec
usually like
Baldwin.
authority figure.
I heard that.
Tell me I'm wrong.
I feel like the redhead guy always plays a bodyguard.
Yeah,
Yes.
like in
Yeah,
Secret
he's
Yeah.
Service a
always
lot.
like a bodyguard. I think he was also like an engineering in like one episode of Next Gen too. Like I think that like he's a character actor. He shows up in lots of stuff.
Yeah.
You're right. He totally was. Yeah, yeah.
Well, I mean the captain, right? Ferris Bueller's. I should know the actor's name. I
Yeah.
can't think of it right now. But for
Alan
Ferris
Ruck.
Bueller's, thank you.
Yeah.
Succession. Like he's in so many Speed. He's in so many things.
And this would have been shortly after Speed, right? Didn't
Yep.
Speed come out in 93?
I think it was
Yeah.
same year. I think it was 94.
Oh, wow. Well,
I
I
could
wonder
be
which one
mistaken.
he felt was bigger for his
That is
career.
correct. Same year, yeah.
I mean, my first note for this is I'll quote Ferris Bueller's friend will make a great captain, I'm sure.
Well, I mean, I like he's a bit of a wiener captain, but I like that he's trying. He's like throwing out ideas, and they're not working. And then he runs out of ideas, and he asks Kirk. Like we've seen a lot of these captains in Star Trek throughout the years, and I thought they didn't do this guy that dirty like they have with some other
Yeah.
captains.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, he's just new. He's a little he's a little
A little
green.
green. Yeah, it's probably his first.
Plus,
you
half
know.
the ship doesn't arrive until Tuesday.
So, yeah, logistically, why are they the only ship in range
That's one of my
for
notes.
this
Yeah.
disaster? Because,
Sector Zero?
like we've seen Space Dock. Yeah,
Yeah.
you got to imagine they have a fleet to guard Earth. Because, like, the Romans would just like, nobody's there. Let's roll up cloaked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To me, it didn't make any sense either.
Everyone was
But-
busy.
But also, that's what I think for 90% of Star Trek episodes, anyways. I'm like, it's the flagship of your Federation, and it's the only ship that can go to, like,
But they're
Someplace-
weeks away from Earth, right? Like I get it, but if they're at a space dock,
mhm.
there has to be other Starfleet stuff around.
There's
Like
there's a whole shipyard at Mars. Like, you
Yeah.
know, don't they
Like-
have one that's half ready to go at least? Just
it's one of my problems with the Star Trek movies in general. Like even though I love them, that they get from point A to point B so quickly. Like jumping ahead when they're in the neutral zone in the next movie, they get back to Earth so quickly. The neutral zone is weeks away. Like maybe I don't know if it's months, but like that doesn't make any sense.
yeah.
Well, they
Yeah.
weren't actually. I don't think they actually made it to the neutral zone. I think they turned around before they got there.
Oh no, they scan it. Remember they're talking about comets and Picard's like, this is certainly worthy of our time.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, throws the hat on his desk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, sorry, I was jumping ahead. But yeah, like Star Wars does that, right? You can get from point A to point B within a day in most of the Star Wars universe. I like in Star Trek, it takes a while to get to places. They got to set up bases. There's logistics.
Yeah.
And the movies just throw that out the window.
I will say with Star Wars though, like despite watching most of the movies many times, it's like you can't understand the distances that they're actually traveling most of the time. Like how far is Naboo from whatever? I have no idea. But
Yeah.
they're there 20
Probably,
minutes
like,
later.
The same distance between like here and the center of the Milky Way galaxy where God lives.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
Nice
it's
callback.
only like it's
Like a
3 hours away.
5-minute drive.
Yeah. We'll just zip over, see God, see what's up.
Yeah, God's just
Turns
chilling in
out
this saga.
he's just like one of us.
What, he needs
Just
a
a
ship
Evil
to
and
fly
flawed.
around?
Yeah.
And it is frustrating because like Star Trek as a franchise is the one franchise that has like really identified how their warp speed works and how long it takes to
It's
travel.
very rooted in science.
Yeah.
Like actual
Yeah,
science.
and like Star Wars is kind of like, yeah, we just go to hyperspace. It's cool,
Mhm.
and so it's fine. Like they don't address it. It's just the technology.
Yeah.
The Orville is the same way. They don't have like a certain number. They just go to quantum. There's-
Yeah. Yeah. And you're just like, wait, how fast is that? How far are you actually going? Shouldn't this take a little bit longer? I don't know. I'm just like, space stuff. Fine. Let it happen.
So did Sulu like not talk to his daughter anymore? Like I feel like there was something that we're supposed to, she's
Yeah,
like, oh,
like-
I hope he's proud of me. Like, do you not
Your
talk?
father would be very proud of you. And it's like,
Yeah.
I hope so.
Yeah, which was an
Yeah.
odd line to put in there, I think.
Yeah.
But like apparently the only reason why Sulu didn't show up in this movie is that they wanted to like reduce his rank in the movie, and he's like, I'm never not gonna be a captain again
Hmm.
in it. And so
Yeah,
he's
he
like,
takes it
no, I'm
very
not
seriously.
gonna show up. Yeah.
He should have been there though. Like, who cares if there's 3 captains on the bridge, right? I guess.
Yeah.
I guess it destroys that scene. Captain Kirk, do you have any suggestions? Because Sulu would,
Would
have
be like, what about
suggestions.
me?
Yeah.
and know the Excelsior class much better.
Exactly.
True.
Yeah. True.
Oh
Very
wait,
true.
is that an Excelsior class Enterprise?
Well,
Yeah.
I think it's modified. They
Yeah, it's got the
reuse the
flares.
model.
Oh, okay,
Oh.
okay.
I think the saucer section's different.
No, I think
From the
it's
actual
just
Excelsior?
it's
Yeah.
just the secondary hull. I have one. It's not near me though. So
Mhm.
got the Playmates version.
Jealous. That's awesome.
Gotta have it. Another thing that I found really interesting. So apparently Chekhov wasn't originally supposed to be in it. It was DeForest Kelly. McCoy was supposed to be there. And they literally DeForest Kelly was actually just really ill and couldn't do the filming. And so that's why when Chekhov's on the bridge and like stuff's going on, he's just like, I have to go down to like sick bay or something, he says. He complains about doctors and
Oh,
whatever.
yeah.
And it's because they didn't change any of the dialogue. We're just like, we'll just put Chekhov in. Just put him there. And
I love
was
that
it.
scene though. He points to the reporters. He's like, "You're a nurse and you're a nurse. Let's go."
Yeah.
Or something like that.
I didn't. You know what? I wouldn't know that. Oh,
Maybe he was
Yeah.
just playing Bones in that one. Like they just changed the actor. They didn't change the character. They just
Well, I think
Walter
that's
Koenig
why-
did a good
Walter
job
Koenig
though. 'Cause
plays-
honestly,
Yeah. For years I didn't notice it, and then it wasn't this watch, it was like maybe 1 or 2 watches before this, where I was just like, why is he complaining about doctors and wanting to set up sick bay? That seems weird. And then I looked it up, and that's when I found out about it. I was like, oh, okay, that makes more sense now.
Yeah. But it is something that like an officer would do, is like taking charge of the situation. It's like, hey, we're taking on wounded. We're gonna need people in sickbay. Let's go.
especially like a senior officer who's
Yeah.
familiar with so much, emergency work. Yeah,
mean,
that's
I guess.
interesting, Tracy. You taught me something that I didn't know.
TIL.
See, I did research and took notes this time. It's happening. I don't know. But I do like the opening sequence because, like, so the
Awesome.
that whole thing, it does a lot of like world building and storytelling. You get to see like Guinan for that's the third earliest point in the
Yeah.
timeline that we would have seen her.
Oh, when else
Wait,
does she pop
There's
up?
San Francisco.
She's hanging
Is
out
that the
in
San
first?
Francisco,
Yeah.
Mark
What's the
Twain.
second?
The Mark.
Oh, Mark Twain, right?
Can someone do the Mark Twain impression? I wish I could do it.
Oh,
I am not going to try.
Yeah.
When Laura Dex
go.
brought that joke out,
give me a line and
Okay.
I'll give it a shot.
But Tracy, you might be wrong. Like the one with Mark Twain might actually be her second timeline appearance, depending on how you look at it. Because in Picard, she was a much younger version of herself. So I assumed that was before the Mark Twain.
No, but
yeah.
the Mark Twain thing was in the 1800s, but it was a younger version of herself, but that was like the early 2000s.
Yeah, I know, but I'm saying which did she do first? But I guess she doesn't time travel. She's just long
She's
lived.
just old.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, and that was
See,
one
I
of the
took it in
reasons.
Picard as
Wait, so she
she
lived on.
was listening.
Wait. So she lived on Earth until like the 20th century, then went back. No, no, she must have time traveled then, right? Like, if she's an Elorian escaping the Borg. Sorry, it's a weird conversation, but like, if she's escaping the Borg, uh, and survives, does she then go back in time to Earth?
No,
Or
I
does
think
has she been back in
So
time before, or goes back to Eloria, whatever it's called, and then the Borg attack?
No, I think what happens is she's just traveling wherever she wants to, and it's the 1800s, she's on Earth, blah blah blah. And she
Mhm.
complains about like how her father's mad she doesn't get married again, blah blah blah. So like her family's still alive,
Yeah.
right? And I think somewhere in between there and whatever after the year 2000, she goes back home and then the Borg attack and she ends up on that ship. I think that's
Okay.
what the storyline is.
I just must understand. I think because they cast it, like she seemed younger in the 2000s or in the
Yeah.
Picard
Yes.
than she did in the Next Generation in the 1800s.
Yeah.
So they should have cast somebody that was like a little bit older.
yeah.
Well-
I mean, when you're that long lived, you have to change your appearance up pretty frequently. Otherwise, people catch on,
Yeah.
right?
Mhm. Well,
You guys
that's that was one of the big complaints when Picard was on and they showed her. Like, I really liked the actress that like
Yeah.
portrayed her. I
Great
thought she was
job.
fantastic.
Yeah.
But people watching the show had a legitimate complaint. I'm like, she's too young. She should not
Way too young.
be looking that young. And yes, they say the Elorians have the ability to, what is it, choose when their body ages or whatever, or like their body, yeah, choose when their body ages so they can look a little bit older or younger. But I don't think they can go backwards with it. Like they can't make themselves look 20 instead of 40.
Man,
I think
what a
it's only one
species to
direction.
be. God.
Yeah.
Do you guys remember the one where she's hiding from the Borg and she joins a nunnery?
What?
Yeah.
And then they
I
made
think I
another
do.
one. They sang "Ain't No Man High Enough."
Back in the habit. Yeah.
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 And then she became the coach of the Knicks.
Yeah.
Forgot that one.
I remember her working in a bank at some point.
She
That
was
would
also
be
a
amazing.
hacker
Somebody
or
should do a cut of that, just of like this is all Guinan. Yeah.
Mhm.
It's just her different occupations through time.
lived a life.
Yeah.
She did things, you know.
Yeah. She
This
hosted
is-
the Oscars a bunch of times.
This is
comic
this is how
relief
she
things.
has such sage
Cool.
wisdom.
Keep a low profile. Jeez.
Yeah, yeah.
Have you guys seen that comic relief like commercial that the cast of TNG did?
No.
I don't
Well,
think so.
like, do you guys know what comic relief is? It
Yeah.
was like the
Yeah, for charity,
like,
right?
charity thing.
Yeah.
So like Whoopi Goldberg was like the host, and so the cast of TNG did like a bit about them discovering these relics from the past that it was all about comic relief. And Worf says one of my favorite things ever, which is, "Who is this? Who pie?"
And
That-
in
that
the
does
like
sound familiar.
voice too.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
So good.
Well, now I gotta look that up. Okay, great.
Yep.
I just gotta say, I thought the Enterprise B looked fantastic. I love that whole scene with it like coming out of space dock, even it like going through the Nexus, like coming up on the Nexus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I actually thought the effects with like the Nexus, the ships in it, and the blowing up and the blah blah blah. I actually thought it looked really good. Still, it
Yeah,
has held
For
up very well.
1994.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah.
the special effects in both movies I think are spectacular.
I
Yeah.
do have some nitpicks in First Contact.
Agreed.
but-
Yeah. There's a few here and there, but like Data in the silo and stuff like that. But like,
Oh, that one I didn't catch, but
I'm sorry, Data in
towards
the
the end.
Silo-
But anyways,
I'm sorry, Data in the silo looked like they cut out like a piece of paper that's his shape and was like,
Yeah.
yeah.
I this is just a side note of terms of kind of crappy cowboy swaps, I guess, is when somebody like jumps down and then the actor pops back up from the bottom of the screen.
From the bottom of the frame.
Completely
Yeah.
fine. That always makes me laugh.
Their outfit is like a slightly different color because they didn't have enough to really duplicate it.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Yeah, so, the hypochondriac kid from Ferris Bueller kills, Kirk. And then we jump to the
It was
future.
his fault.
Yay.
Yeah. It's a good thing that
it was
that
Kirk's
Ferris screwed
fault.
that kid over.
Yeah. Kirk said, "I'll do it. You stay in the captain's chair."
And let's all be honest, it was Malcolm McDowell's fault. But
Yeah.
But, yes.
no, because Kirk volunteered to go down. It's like the captain's place is on the bridge.
And it wasn't Malcolm because he, at that point, was a refugee. He didn't know
that's true.
about the Nexus. Yeah.
Sorry,
That's a good
when Kirk actually dies, that's what I was,
Yeah.
Sorry.
Three old men
spoilers,
fighting.
everyone.
Sorry, don't. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Sorry. Right. We'll talk about
Wait.
the old man fight at the end of the.
Sorry.
The old man fight.
Sorry, in that scene, I assumed Malcolm McDowell caused those refugee boats to be in the Nexus.
I don't think so.
I don't
Yeah, I did
think
not get
so,
that impression.
but it's possible.
Okay.
I don't
Because he was
I don't
just
think
one
it's
of the
that
refugees.
I think that is a good reading of it, Tracy. I think
Okay.
that
I
I think that is. I mean, I'm not sure if it is true. I'm not even sure if I agree or not. But I think that is a worthy conclusion to.
Yeah, it's very valid. Like I could totally see it happening.
Well, because, okay, so
It'd be better.
the reason why I've come to this conclusion is because when he gets rescued, he's like, "Why would you do this?" He's like, "Why would you pull us out of there? This seems crazy."
Mhm.
And then later on, you have Guinan telling the story about them being in the Nexus. She was one of the people in the Nexus, and they got pulled out of the Nexus.
Yeah, that's
Right?
why Picard was able to invite her to dinner. Christmas
Yes.
dinner.
Yes,
Right.
that is correct.
Because part of her is still there. Yeah.
Because part of her is still there. I mean, I'm assuming she's more of a ghost than anything else, but
Well,
okay.
time doesn't exist, so she's there because time is a flat circle, as we've all
Mhm.
established from various other pop culture things.
Mhm.
But since everybody who was ever in there at any point is still in there now because time doesn't exist.
Okay, because I got questions about this later. Because I'm like, what is
It's
this
like
correct?
Dr. Manhattan, where it's like he experiences all time at the same time.
I mean, I get it, but then my problem is, I know I'm skipping to the end right now, but so Picard and Kirk decide to leave the Nexus at a point before they were put into the Nexus. First off, shouldn't there be two Picards there? First. Second, if Malcolm did not decide to leave the Nexus and you kill him technically before he leaves he gets into the Nexus, does that mean his body, him in the Nexus, gets destroyed and pulled out of the Nexus and just like disappears? Or is there a version of him in the Nexus still? Like, I was very like that whole I was like, yay, we won, and technically the ship's not destroyed anymore, yay. But also I'm like, I'm confused. This is not
Okay.
answering questions for me.
I think I know what you're getting at. And I think you are correct that everything after this point in the Star Trek timeline is a Jacob's Ladder scenario.
Okay.
It's
All right.
all just Picard's dream.
Wait, even when he becomes a golem?
Yeah, no, none of it. Yeah, no, everything. No, you're right. It doesn't make any sense. I don't understand how. Like
like
reading the
Guinan explains it,
Mhm.
but like it's kind of hand wavy.
No, but
Yeah.
like I understand what Guinan explains. But based on what Guinan explains, what happens after technically doesn't make any sense or saves anybody. Because it's
Yeah,
sort of like
wasn't he-
making a new timeline, isn't it?
Yeah, or he was just going to a made-up place that's not real. He just wanted it to be real, so he
Yeah.
could go there.
Yeah.
Isn't that so?
So he's technically
Picard-
still in the Nexus.
Yeah,
Oh my
Picard
God.
and the Enterprise D died in generations.
Yeah. And everything after that is in the Nexus. It's his fantasy.
Yeah, exactly. It's a Jacob's
Of
Ladder
what's going
scenario.
on. Got it. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm set with this. This is fine. I mean, I guess the next movie is his nightmare because of the Borg, but that's a
Mhm.
different story. We're
And
not
then
there
after
yet.
that is all of our nightmares.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's called Star Trek Discovery. It's fine.
I think he meant the next few
I
movies.
think
Where we
I
discover
think
our nightmares.
Insurrection is worse than Discovery. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna.
I
Oh,
haven't seen it in like over a decade, so I'm a little scared to watch
I've
it.
watched that movie exactly 3 times. Once in the theater, real angry about it. My friends were angry about it
Yeah.
because I'm the Star Trek person and talked them into watching this movie, and I'm like, yeah, you can yell at me. This is fine. I watched it a second time because I was like, no, no, it's Star Trek. It can't be that bad, and I was wrong. I was
Yeah.
wrong.
It's a
And
fun
then
action romp.
I watched it the third time because it was on, and I was like, why am I watching this? So, watching it for this podcast would be my official fourth time of watching Insurrection.
Now we will have to put the hooks under your eyes to like hold them open.
Yeah.
Probably, yes.
No
Yeah.
phones, Tracy.
No phones. Oh my God. I'll just have the phone in front of my face the whole time. I'm like, I can hear it. That totally counts.
You're just watching
It's
other Star Trek, better Star Trek.
Yeah.
there. Exactly. Um,
Actually, I had a question.
Yeah.
So I watched this on Paramount, and the poster, the thumbnail, like when you click onto the movie, it actually said Star Trek 7 Generations. I don't remember ever seeing a poster saying this is Star Trek 7. Am I crazy?
No, you're not crazy. That's just
Okay.
for Paramount, so they can keep them in order properly.
Yeah,
Probably
okay.
so
It just everything, it looked wrong to me. Like I don't remember any of that. And anyway, it's just a little
Yeah.
weird thing.
No, that
I
is
don't know
that
what the
is
problem is. Just sort by release date.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or
Come
hire a
on,
proper
come on,
node who
internet
knows the order.
technicians.
Come on. It's
They
fine.
might also just think people are stupid and need the visual.
Oh no, people are pretty
That's
smart.
you know what,
We're in a-
Steve? You're right.
It's true. No matter how idiot proof you think you've made someone will fight you and make sure you know there are bigger idiots out there. It doesn't matter. It does
Think
not
of the
matter.
most average person you know, and realize half the population is dumber than they are.
Yeah, the average person I know, pretty dumb.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I think of some of the stupid things I do, and I'm like, there are people dumber than this? Oh my God.
I'm smart for some people. Holy shit.
Oh my God. Yes. All right, I have a question. So we jump to the future. They're doing this thing on the holodeck. They're on the Enterprise, the seaworthy vessel,
The HMS
You know.
Enterprise.
HMS Enterprise. Besides the main cast that we know and love, do you think all of the people on that boat are holograms or other people from the ship?
Holograms.
I think that they are the barbershop quartets from Disneyland.
I really did like their red pinstripes.
Yeah.
Oh, that's amazing.
I like their harmonies.
Actually. Barbershop quartet kind of thing.
Yeah.
But you're right, Tracy. Like, why didn't they have like the people that worked under Worf, or
Yeah.
Mhm.
part of,
Yeah.
he runs a
Security
whole
team.
division. He would have
Well-
people that care.
Yeah, because that was so at first I was watching, I was like, no, they're holograms. But like when he fell in the water, they were all like laughing and stuff or whatever. And they're like pointing like and I was just like, oh, maybe they're like some subordinates, or maybe they're ensigns, maybe they're from the lower decks. I don't know. But I was like, how many of these people are holograms and how many are like real?
Well,
Gamma
they
ship.
had
Well,
old timey mustaches, so unless they really got into character and put those on, the ones I can think of.
It's like you've never seen an episode with a holodeck before. Yeah, they get real into it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
good point.
Sometimes I get the
Was
holodeck
Barclay
episodes
in there?
mixed up with the Q
I wish.
episodes.
Oh yeah, when they like mess things up and everything. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
They
like,
had-
what if the things in the holodeck became real? Do you
There's
think
an
that
episode
could ever
for that.
happen?
There's a lot of episodes like that.
There's a lot of episodes. It's a huge plot point in Voyager about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
holodeck should be turned off. They constantly put the ship in danger or the space station in danger. Or
Yeah.
Whatever.
Well,
Yep.
because isn't there an episode of Deep Space Nine where they're like beaming like Cisco and Dax over, and there's like something goes wrong and they lose power somewhere. So then the computer stores their patterns in the holodeck and turns them into like weird villainous holodeck characters. Or it's like James Bond or something.
Oh,
Uh,
I don't know if I remember this.
I don't.
I know
there's
Bashir does a bunch of James Bond
Yeah,
stuff.
there's a Bashir Bond episode, but I don't like. I think the bad guys in the holodeck were their crew, like their fellow crew members, but they were just either playing a character or they made them. Right? Am I remembering it right?
I do not remember this episode at all.
Yeah, there's definitely a Bond episode. It's Bashir and
Yeah,
O'Brien.
yeah, I do remember that one, but I don't remember
Yeah, the one Tracy
Tracy's-
described.
pattern
Tracy's
pattern
researching it.
buffers getting stored there.
I
This
have
is
okay.
the-
So
Sorry, go ahead.
oh, I was just a side story. It's kind of holodeck related. I listened to this Orville. It was like a small book. It was like 3 hours, and it was supposed to be an episode. But essentially, this baby, is put in a holodeck because his parents are about to be abducted by these aliens, and they're just like, "Oh shit, we're in here." Just the hologram person watch him. The holodeck runs for like 30 years with this kid growing up in it. But
Yeah.
the program started in 1914. And he ended up with the parents of like Germans. So he ends up in Nazi Germany and becomes a Nazi. So he's essentially a Nazi when they find him.
Huh.
And it's just like, holy fuck. Like, I thought it was an interesting concept, but that is how wrong a holodeck could go.
Mhm.
Yeah, I
It was
believe
Raise
it.
a Nazi.
It was because the AI program was based on Twitter.
Yeah,
Elon Musk
exactly.
programmed it.
Yes.
Oh, Tay.
All right, so I did find the episode. It is season 4, episode 9. It's called Our Man Bashir. When a transporter emergency turns the command crew into holosuite characters, Bashir's James Bond fantasy takes on a deadly reality.
Huh.
Okay.
Oh, I think I'm remembering this. I didn't remember that they were stuck in the holodeck or like part of the holodeck program, but
Yeah, because their physical forms have like the characters from the holodeck. So like Cisco's like the bad guy and is trying to like kill him. Like Bashir, if I remember correctly.
Okay.
yeah.
Is this the first pair of movies we've done where there wasn't a transporter incident?
Oh my God, there wasn't a transporter incident.
No, I don't think either one of these mashed people together. So
Did they even use the transporter in Generations?
Yeah, to get to the
Oh yeah.
the space
yeah,
station.
they got Alex from Clockwork Orange off the
Oh,
Off the
yeah.
ship with
Okay,
Brent.
that's right. Yeah.
Yeah, that
And
great
then
scene
also
where
when
it's
they're
like
when they're
running
investigating the station and that. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
they
and they beam. I mean, they don't show up, but they beam Picard to the Klingon ship, and then they beam him down to
You move down. Yeah.
Viridian
Yeah.
3, I think, or something like that.
Yes.
I think
Yeah.
they do show it actually. They do show Picard leaving the Enterprise, but then just coming down to Burton 3.
Mhm.
Because Geordi
Yeah.
comes back and we just like flops over. Poor
Yeah.
Geordi. Always getting
Speak-
kidnapped, that guy.
I know.
Yeah.
Because isn't this
Backlids,
the second?
Klingons.
The second time
Romulans?
his like visor is used against the ship?
Yeah.
In
I think
the
it
Yeah,
is,
war?
yeah.
yeah.
The Romulans. Remember they kidnap him on an away mission. Sorry,
Yeah,
And
they
they
like
brainwash.
he's
They
going to a
brainwash
conference
him,
or
right?
something, and
Yeah.
Yeah.
they take a shuttlecraft, and
Yeah.
it's like it's a Manchurian Candidate in Star Trek.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's exactly
no, I
what
remember that one. Yeah, but
Good episode.
yeah, no. Apparently, the Enterprise can't figure out when there's a signal coming out of one of their guys that's
I
just
know,
going
right?
back to the
Like-
ship.
Again, Worf is not doing his job.
Yeah,
Just a little
no,
too
there's just some UHF waves broadcasting. I'm sure that's nothing.
I mean, it's usually like Data who picks up. He's like, "Oh, there's been a weird signal happening." He's like, "Yeah, don't
Yeah.
worry about it." You're just like, "Really?"
That's true. Data was
Really?
busy writing jokes.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh my God, he was so obnoxious in the early half of the movie. It was
Well,
Like-
there's our first subplot that is introduced when he does after Worf falls in and everyone thinks it's hilarious. He pulls Crusher in and everyone's like, "Dude, not cool." And
yeah.
and to be honest, I'm not really sure why it's so not funny.
Yeah.
I thought it was okay. I laughed.
I have a question about that though. If instead of Crusher it was Diana, would it have been more acceptable?
No. I don't think so.
No?
I think if he did it to like Jordy, yes. people would have laughed. They would be like, he's
That
pushing his
feels
best
so
friend in
much
the water.
worse.
Yeah,
That
no,
guy's
Jordan,
blind.
that's way. He's blind.
Throw a blind man into
got
the
a
water.
visor. He's
Visor
gonna
wet.
fall in. The visor's gonna
What's
sink
your
to
problem
the
with the
bottom
blind
of the
training?
He's not the
ocean.
blind
Pop off,
guy.
though.
It's not that he's a blind guy, it's his best friend, and two friends are just joking around.
Yeah, let's not throw blind guys off boats. It's not a funny joke.
He's not going to see it coming. It's fine.
Oh.
Exactly. That's why he keeps getting kidnapped.
I'm the worst. Okay, never mind then. Imagine he pushed the captain instead.
See,
Oh,
that
shit.
seems funny to me.
That would be horrible for what happens next to that guy.
Yes.
Get pushed into the water and then find out what a day.
Yeah.
But that's when you get to see the scene where they keel haul Data.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're like, and we know where your off switch is. Let's go.
But on the actual Enterprise, yeah.
Do you think he felt embarrassed that he learned that news while wearing a tricorner hat? It's like
whenever
if
he
you
thinks
get
back on the
fired
memory.
on Halloween.
Yeah. You're sitting there with actual clown makeup on, and they're like,
Yeah.
we're letting you go. We're like, cool. Yeah, I guess this makeup is appropriate. It's done.
Yeah, I thought about the costumes when they got on the bridge and Data just hands his sword to the guy he's relieving from the station. It's like, you didn't say anything to him. You just fucking handed him a sword.
How many
Very
practical
arrogant,
props
yeah,
are you bringing into the holodeck every time you go in? Like,
Yeah.
just do you have a closet just full of like your holodeck toys? Like,
Well, every good lieutenant needs their own sword.
or he probably just borrowed it from Worf.
I mean, he does like his weapons. What can we
I mean,
say?
they also somebody sewed those costumes that they're wearing too, because they weren't holodeck costumes because they're wearing them on the bridge
Oh,
later.
that's just the replicator.
No, yeah, you just hit him with the replicator.
Yeah.
I'd imagine I wouldn't be surprised if the sword was replicated too.
Still seems wasteful, even though there's apparently an infinite amount of supplies in the replicator. I'm gonna say seems a bit wasteful.
Except
Well,
Bajor, like, I mean, this is jumping
Yeah,
into
except
the
for,
show,
like-
but like, there's poverty in Star Trek. Like, why don't they just give them replicators? I never understood that. Like, are there not enough to go around? Is there not enough energy?
So it's not just that, but like in certain like episodes, they also mention like replicator rations.
Mm.
Yeah.
But like replicators just rearrange matter, i.e., like oxygen or rocks, into something useful.
It's a
I
power
don't
supply
quite-
issue.
I could see power supply being an issue. And like when you're like setting up like some sort of like base or something, you get the replicator there, and then you're able to like build stuff faster, right? Because that's been like a plot point in multiple things as well.
Yeah, the industrial
Uh,
replicators, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't remember Insurrection very well, but are there any refugees wearing 19th century British Navy costumes?
No.
I don't think so.
Maybe
I
they
don't
shipped
think
them
so.
off like the like the loser Super Bowl teams
Mhm.
T-shirts that go to Africa.
Well, I mean, the thing about them is that they've been alive forever,
Mhm.
so it's possible that
Yeah.
they.
They're not been around forever. They're just older. Okay.
Significantly,
Yes.
like centuries.
Were they? I thought they were like maybe 100, but I don't think they were like 300 years old.
I don't recall the timeline. Tune in next episode to find out.
But okay, so I do have a thing about the replica because there are episodes like especially like when Worf is trying to like discipline Alexander and stuff, or tell him what to do, and he's like, clean up your room, put your dirty clothes in like the I forget what they call it. It's the something, whatever. But I think what happens is that stuff gets dematerialized and the content is like pulled back into the quote unquote replicator, and its matter is reused to make other things.
That sounds about right.
I think I know what you're getting at, and yes, they are always drinking pee.
God. It's
Josh
tea,
just says what we're all
it's Earl
thinking.
Grey, it's hot.
Honestly,
it was always hot.
I know Discovery has a bad rap, but I thought that was a great scene where the Admiral just talks about the replicator being their own shit. and like really goes into detail about it, and like the woman eating it just puts it down.
Oh, God.
It's great.
There's some good stuff in Discovery. I don't like it overall, but
Yeah.
yeah, there's
Yeah.
things I like in it.
They do put in a couple of little tidbits of interesting things, but as a whole, no. That's all I got.
If you watch it without like audio, it's beautiful.
Yes, it's
Oh,
very,
the
it
show
is
looks
very
great.
pretty.
Mhm.
Yes, except for all the lens glares.
Oh, when
Flares.
they're doing their
Yeah,
spin thing.
there's so much of it. There's so much. I'm like, we get it. You like J.J. Abrams. Like, come on. Come on. I'm talking about J.J. Abrams. Why is the ship so dark in this movie?
Both movies.
It's a movie. Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
yeah. No,
It's-
that's a thing in like all of the new ones. The bridge is significantly darker.
Yeah.
But no, specifically, so the second movie, it's like, yes, it's darker, but they at least turned on some lights. Whereas this movie, it seemed like all their ambient light is from the windows and there's like no lights on. And it's
Yeah.
so like there's a scene where Riker goes in to check on Picard, because he's crying and stuff, and which he should. And
You okay, buddy? Yeah.
he walks in and it is completely pitch black, and you clearly can tell he's like, I gotta make my mark, or else you can't see my face. Probably like the 8th time they've done it, and he stops at a certain point, and it's literally like from his like bottom lip to like the middle of his forehead is lit as he's talking, and you're just like, why?
Well, but it's a reflection off of the glass.
Fish
or
tank.
whatever.
No,
Yeah.
I literally think it's like from the window in his office.
No,
Yeah,
but
it's supposed to be like sun.
Oh,
wait.
the sunset scene.
Sorry, I'm thinking of a different
Yeah.
scene. Sorry.
I don't know. I just found like the next movie, yes, it's like I said, it's dark, but at least you can see other things that aren't being specifically lit for the scene, so you can see
And it's
the whole
a
area.
different ship too. You don't
Yes.
know the ship. You don't. You're like, okay, they don't turn the lights on in the ship, but you know the Enterprise D, and that
Yeah.
was
And
very bright.
Yeah.
I
was sitting
feel
there
like-
watching this, I was
Wanted
like,
it
what
to
is
be
going on?
moody.
No, I think the real reason why it was so dark on the bridge is so that you could see the cameraman's flashlight on everybody's face.
Oh my God. Yes.
Oh, could you? Oh, I didn't catch that.
Yeah.
I didn't catch that either.
There was a scene where I think there was literally somebody just off camera with a flashlight going like this.
Yeah.
Like, sorry. Oh yes, this is a podcast. Nobody can see that. I'm like just shaking my hand.
You
with
were
a
Harry
flashlight.
Pottering all over the place.
I don't
What
know
an
what
odd
it's called.
gesture
I'm
to
sorry.
make.
Yeah.
I like that the Enterprise D got an update though to the the bridge looks movie era is.
Mm.
Yes.
It looks really good.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I thought.
I mean, I get what you're. I mean, like, I agree. I think it is odd and an inconsistent thing that it's lit completely different. Like, why would it be lit different on this mission than it is on all the 200 we watched before?
Picard's morning.
But
Well,
Yeah.
they
Yeah.
just
Set lights to morn.
but like
They,
the lighting is so flat on the TV series, so
Mhm.
like it looks cheap. It does.
Yeah.
It looks, and like we all laugh at the design looking like a minivan. So I mean, like it's to hide that it looks like a minivan. That's why we got a new ship. Like they only destroyed it so we could get a new set.
No. Why is it
It
every
was the
movie they want to
filming
blow up
model.
the ship?
No,
Yeah.
no, because the Enterprise D was a motherfucker to film with. Sorry, it was really hard to film with. So they wanted it destroyed. That was the reason. Like they were like, no, we need a new ship. Destroy
Yeah.
this one.
Huh.
So that's why the
make the
Enterprise D
saucer
went away.
section more pointy.
Yes.
Yeah, it was easier to shoot. And then they went to digital after First Contact anyway, so it was all kind of moot.
Yeah.
Mm.
I don't know. I feel like I know digital is easier to like model and put into spaces and all that kind of stuff. But those actual models, like after all this time, they still look so much better than when you watch the
Yeah.
movie and it's just like a digital thing
Yeah.
hanging in nothingness. You're just like, oh.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean,
Yep.
I
I
agree.
agree 100%.
I don't know.
The Enterprise E, I love the Enterprise E in First Contact. I think it is amazing. But the other ones it looks different. It just doesn't look the same.
Doesn't look
Mhm.
right. Yeah. Yeah. Hmm.
I like janky. Janky's fun.
Janky?
Yeah, it's like when the effects are just like not very good. Like, I mean,
Mm.
like you can throw all your money at CG and stuff, but the the little model on a string is more fun to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I think it's because it's tactile. You can
Yeah.
feel its realness compared to like even if it looks cheap, you're just like, but at least it's real.
Mhm.
Well,
Where
I mean, to jump ahead to the next movie, which I have, by the way, still no notes. But like Borg costumes, those are just rubber costumes. They look shitty, but
Yeah.
like
Oh, I thought
they
they look
look so
great.
much. But I think they look great in a shitty. Like I think they look shitty, but like that is I like that. I like that it looks crappy. Like I don't like. I like that it doesn't look like it's real metal. Like
Yeah.
it's more fun to be that way when it's just like when they look like they're just like yeah they look like they're Power Rangers villains.
They clearly got hit with the silver trim clad.
Yeah. Where it's a little squishy for some reason. Like they shouldn't be squishy.
I don't know, they're fleshy under there, so
Why is every Borg human? I hate that. I liked when is
there
it
was
Prodigy?
clearly a Klingon Borg
Was there?
in that one, yeah.
Like
there
they're
was.
almost always human, and I hate that. Like especially like the Borg coming from the Delta Quadrant. There should not be that many humans.
In
I want to see
Voyager?
a Borg horse.
Oh no, but this is before Voyager, right? This is
Yeah.
and how many Voyager crew do they actually assimilate?
Mm.
Enough.
Enough. Yeah.
Yeah.
A few.
But sorry, we're skipping to the next
Or
movie.
counterpoint, not enough.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Like they're the Borg. They should have like bloop, Voyager would have been gone. I never understood that. They
Also,
stood
why
no
don't the-
chance against the Borg.
They
Why don't
never
the Borg
considered
send more than one
Voyager a
ship
threat.
ever?
Yeah.
If they
Yeah,
send
that
two
seems
ships in for
inefficient.
contact, humanity's done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Overconfidence.
Yeah, apparently.
But they did like nesting doll that. They had a ship in a ship.
True.
But it's more like a ship and a shuttlecraft, I think, is really the comparison,
It's
right?
like a quasi escape pod, but it's like actually still the same size as a ship.
Yes. Because their ships are massive, right? The
Yeah,
cubes are
like
just like these
cubes.
giants.
Cubes are like, I don't know, like 8 or 16 enterprises.
Yeah, I could
I think
do
it's
that.
I think it's funny. They're like, no, we're gonna make the big one a cube, but then the little one that poops out of it, that's a sphere.
It just makes more sense.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
the design one way makes sense, and you could also like it doesn't make any sense because how would it fit inside? So like, why wouldn't you just make it out of a cube and then have like a little bit of cube come off?
Yeah.
Do you
Oh,
know
yeah,
what
yeah.
hole the cylinder
Part,
goes
part of
into?
the
That's right. It's the square hole.
to the Rubik's cubes, you know?
Okay, so apparently,
No notes.
of a Borg cube on average is 27 cubic kilometers in volume.
Damn.
So it's about 3 kilometers in each direction. So it's
Okay.
pretty big. I mean, yeah.
Wait, doesn't he say how big the Enterprise is? And isn't it like kind of that long?
No,
Isn't it in the
it's
thousands
not,
of meters?
It's not kilometers long.
Oh, okay.
I wouldn't even say half a kilometer.
288.6 meters.
And what's that in?
Oh,
Sorry, excuse me.
288
That's
meters?
the original. That's the original.
685 meters is the Enterprise E. If we're talking about the
Okay.
E.
That's
So
less
that's
than a
about-
kilometer.
half a kilometer. Okay,
Yeah.
It's still pretty
Two-thirds of
big.
a
fair
kilometer?
enough.
And it's also what, 30, 40 decks?
Yeah, I think the D
Something
is
like that.
42 decks, but the E is only 24 because they specifically
Yeah.
say it in the movie.
They go all over the place with the E. They fucked it up again. Sorry, they messed it up again. Sorry, Tracy.
You can swear.
Yeah,
You're
you're
allowed to
bleeping all these
swear.
out, right?
No,
You just
I
can't,
keep
you just can't
all
swear
of
in
it
Tracy's
there.
church podcast.
Exactly.
Oh, right.
I said the
Only one-
C word on this podcast once.
Well, Mitty?
Yeah.
Uh,
I've just said a lot of words. I think I just ran out of other words to say.
they're just like, what word haven't I said yet?
Yeah, exactly.
Anyway, we were talking about Data.
Mhm.
And I
Yes.
do find his
He
emotion
was
just being installed
infuriating.
was just super flimsy. Like it was just I'm like, really? You can't get humor, therefore you're gonna put in this chip in your brain that almost killed you before? This is fine.
And then
And
it
yeah,
fuses with you and you can't turn it off. But
until
then
the
you
next
can
movie
turn it off in the
magically.
next movie.
I was like, what
Slash
is
also
happening?
possibly at the end of Generations he's able to.
No. He's told
Yeah,
by
Picard.
no, he's told by Troy
Troy.
that people you just have to learn to control and live with them. That's what she says. And
No,
he'll learn how to do it.
that was earlier when he was talking to Picard. Troy, Data was talking to Troy, and he was like, "I've experienced 291 separate emotions, so I feel like I have control of them." But I feel like also in that conversation, he was like able, or like Troy asked him why he doesn't just turn it off, and that was his answer. Is like I have control of it now.
But wasn't it earlier when after he was so scared he couldn't help Jordy that he like asked to get it turned off or taken out or whatever, and he was like uh was didn't Troy tell him he's like no, you have to learn to live with it, and that's how people function. You have to learn to control your emotions and work with it.
They
Yeah,
put him
that
on lithium is what happened.
there was that, but also it like somehow got stuck on, and I
It
don't remember how it
fused.
got stuck on.
Yeah, remember when he like went crazy laughing and like passed out or whatever? That's when it fused
I made
apparently.
that
Oh, okay.
Turned
tricorder
into a
talk. Yeah.
YouTube
Yes.
Oh,
thumbnail.
Mr. Tricorder.
Mhm.
Yeah. I think that turned into a YouTube thumbnail.
I know Data's
Um,
annoying, but I still kind of find it funny. Like he goes too far on the space station, but
yeah.
when I saw this when I was a 12-year-old in theaters, I was howling. Like especially the "oh shit" comment. I didn't see that coming.
Yeah.
I just thought it was the funniest thing ever.
Yeah.
I
It
stand
was
by
like,
the shit.
Yeah.
no, the oh shit was good because it was
Oh,
like, oh,
yeah.
there's your PG-13
Yeah.
like checkbox.
Yeah, and the tiny little life form song I love.
Hmm.
I've been singing that ever since I've seen this movie.
I really like the Tiny Little Lifeform song because he's like hitting the panel in front of
Yeah.
him, and the
Do, do, do,
panel's
do, do,
hitting
do.
different notes
Yeah.
as well. So
I think it still holds
agree.
up.
That was great. I really
Yeah.
enjoyed that.
Yeah.
But yeah, mostly while they were on the station, and like he
Yeah.
just would not stop, and I was
Yeah.
like, I get it. You're trying to show us Data is experiencing emotion. He's remembering that joke about the clown can stay, but the Ferengi in the gorilla suit has to go.
Yeah.
Like I get what you're trying to do, but like it was way too much. Like
Well,
you're
you can see it.
beating me
You can
with
see
a
it with
mallet.
Geordi. Sorry, I cut you off there, but you can see it with Geordi. Like he's so frustrated with him.
Yeah.
He's like, concentrate on your work, just do it.
Yeah.
Like, ugh. My favorite part of the emotion ship was when they found Spot at the end and he started to cry, and I was like, this is an emotion I can get behind.
It's
I'm
amazing.
okay.
Yeah.
I'm okay with it. Yeah.
I'm happy, but I'm crying. I think it's broken.
hmm
Yeah, no, that whole subplot, which, this movie has a few of those, Jesus. That's the only part of that subplot that is like, oh, that's why they did it. Like you can have like your that's your money shot at the end of the subplot is the
Yeah.
cat in the tube. But
Yeah.
the rest of it I do not understand. I was just like, this is just distracting for the rest of the movie.
Also, what happened to Spot's kittens?
Oh yeah. Yeah. That was season 7, wasn't it? So
That
this
was
would have
season
been.
7.
So yeah, they would.
They'd still, well, no, they'd be like a year old at this point.
Data must have given
Could
them
be
away.
somewhere. Yeah.
Was
Maybe
Spot
they
they fell
guy.
into like some
Spot
sort of
was a
like
guy.
time loop, and then they evolved into like that vampire guy from Red Dwarf.
I never saw Red Dwarf.
Where are you pulling these references? Oh my god.
Thanks for having me back.
I do have a question. Look, I've realized most of my notes are questions. This is what I have realized right now. So Picard is in his ready room crying over the loss of his family. It's all very sad and everything. But he has a physical photo album.
Yes, I wrote that down too.
Like
He loves
So-
scrapbooking.
At some point, he printed out photos, went to an old timey like photo album, like, and you can see it's like old and it's like the pages are all, like who does that?
I
Yeah, 'cause-
thought Sorry, I didn't realize that was a photo album at the end of the movie there. I thought that was like the captain's logbook that
No.
like was like always in
Oh.
his ready room like throughout the whole series.
Hmm.
I
No,
thought that's what he was going after.
at the end there, you know what was really funny? The first thing he picks up is in his hand when you cut to the scene is hit what is it? I looked up what it was exactly called. It was the intact third dynasty Curlin Nyakos that was given to him by his mentor Galen, and he just tosses it aside. And I'm just like, wait, I thought this
Yeah.
thing was really super important, and this guy died, and you found out about the progenitors because of it.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
you're just
Oh,
like,
last season with Discovery.
yeah,
Also, that should be in a museum, not on this flagship that could blow up
Yeah.
at any time.
exactly. I was like, what?
Saying.
And I'm like, I get you want your photo album. This is great, but maybe hold on to that. You can hold on to more than one thing. That's okay.
Well, every captain has to have their wall of trophies.
He broke his
He-
little ship.
But he also didn't even look for his what is it, his saddle? So he didn't have that either.
Yeah.
His flute?
His flute.
Well,
Flute, his saddle.
Somebody's going to go back through it. That's just the first pass. That's just what he wants to bring with him on the Farragut, on the rescue
On the
ship.
shuttlecraft, yeah.
Yeah.
Now, is that like his supposed to be his like family lineage? Like maybe it's like a passed down like album of like
Oh, I never thought of
because
that.
that was
That's
like
interesting.
something that was so like his lineage thing was like something that was brought up, right? That the line was ending. That was
Yes.
like another plot point of this movie. Was he doesn't want to get with a lady, I guess.
I mean,
Yeah.
it
He's
wasn't
celibate. Yeah.
yeah, it wasn't the first time that it was brought up that he had thought about family or he had thought about relationships and stuff. Like there's whole episodes about it. But it's the first time where he was just like, I should have a child. This was the first time it was like even mentioned.
Yeah.
And I thought it was just so I don't know. I feel like killing his whole family was kind of unnecessary. Like even for this plot for this movie, it was unnecessary. I feel like it was just mean to the character.
Yeah, and
It
his
works
fake
out.
son became like a traveler, hanging
Yeah.
out with. He's got nobody left.
What, Wesley?
I was gonna, yeah.
Well, in Picard, he does have a son.
Yeah.
Season
Mhm.
3.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, because at the end of TNG, we find out he marries Beverly
Mhm.
for a while.
Yeah, but that's an alternate future that never coalesced.
But he ends up with Beverly
Oh
in
yeah, you're
Picard.
right.
Like,
Yeah.
Mhm.
They hook up, but then
Yeah.
she runs away.
She immediately leaves when she finds out she's pregnant and just like leaves. But also,
Yeah.
so
women-
Typical
know.
doctor
Alright.
behavior.
Also, wait, doesn't he also get another son in Star Trek Nemesis?
Fake
Oh,
son.
no, that's a clone.
that's a clone,
That's
isn't
a
it?
Another fake
Yeah,
son.
Tom Hardy clone.
Yeah.
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 no, there
You know
is
how they
a
look exactly the same?
yeah, right. There is a fake son produced by
Yeah. The Romulan.
no, it's a
the hell's his name?
Ferengi, isn't it?
Is the
Oh, you're right. I'm
Ferengi,
sorry,
yeah.
Ferengi. I meant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
Riker
The
one.
the
you're
rock
thinking.
climber guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, that guy. But yeah, no, he doesn't. But apparently he's got a slew of lovers that they keep showing up all the time. But all right.
Sorry, I'm
Yeah.
I'm just imagining my partner listening to this in the future having no idea what we're talking about. Just going, wait, that happens in this show? What is
Yes.
this show?
Trust me, Star Trek has everything, and people who make fun of it are missing out. Okay, they're
Oh, I
just
make fun of
missing
it,
out.
but I'm not missing out. Trust me.
Yeah. Let's see. What I've been going through my notes. Does anybody have any notes that that we may have missed so far or anything?
Well, we haven't talked about like Lorsa and Bator.
Oh yes.
And
Which
how they
Cruise
die.
windows.
I think it's great that they show up again.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that they bring back baddies from the TV
They
show.
were the classic. They were their bad guys throughout almost many
Yeah,
of the
like-
seasons.
I know it's kind of silly that a 20-year-old Klingon ship blows up the Enterprise, but I think that battle's fun. All the stuff on the Klingon ship I love.
That
I
was another
like the
weird
one
subplot.
time. I like the one time where they shot and each of their laser blasts went around either side of the neck of the Enterprise. That was fun.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's some great shots.
Yeah,
I like how they-
getting scorched. So cool.
Yeah.
They displayed the secret code for how to get through the shields just on a computer that's just like up.
Yeah.
Who left the
By the
screen
way,
open?
everybody,
Yeah.
the Wi-Fi password is password.
I do have a question about that because we have seen through Geordi's eyes before through the visor, and he does not see normal. He sees
Yeah.
color wave spectrums of different
Yeah.
kinds, right? And so my thing is, even if they have something connected to his visor, shouldn't they see like a weird?
But we're not seeing it through Geordi's eyes. We're seeing it through the visor. Like
Yeah.
it's like putting a camera on a pair of glasses, right? Like you wouldn't
they put a
see
GoPro
through
on him.
the person
I feel
wearing the
like
glasses perspective. It'd be from the glasses perspective. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I feel like they would
just
take-
put, like, a
Do you know what I mean?
micro camera.
Yeah,
I feel like they would
that's right.
take the output of the visor and then just like run it through some post-processing scripts.
Oh.
I just picture like a
Overlay
huge
them on top of
GoPro
each
that Worf missed, like a big
Oh, poor Worf.
It's just attached to his head. He's like, oh no, it's just, and he put like a little bit of a wig on it or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like your new hair, Geordi.
Oh yeah, no, I bumped my head while I was over there.
All right.
Oh, humans
So
with their
that
crazy headgear.
that answers my question. I like it. Thank you. But also when Geordi rolled under the door when they were having problems, I was like, yes. I don't know. There's
And then he
Oh.
posed afterwards. He had
Oh,
his
I
like
love-
his like head was on his fist and he's like looking back into the warp core going critical.
yeah.
It happens a couple times in Next Generation where Geordi has to like roll under the door coming down or
Yeah.
evacuate engineering. I always love it.
It never gets old.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
Had to
great
do
every
it one
time.
last time. He
He's
knew
so
it was
good
his
at it.
last chance.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm hoping I don't remember. I'm hoping in Nemesis there's a evacuate engineering scene. Now I think about it.
I'm pretty sure
Maybe.
There's got to be,
his
right? The
ship
Enterprise
was
gets his
like-
ass kicked.
It gets pretty beat up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's got to
Yeah.
be something.
I think he's on the bridge during
Nemesis?
Nemesis.
Oh.
Yeah.
Uh,
Don't get any
I
roll.
feel like you don't see the engineering. Yeah, the Nemesis has problems.
Oh, yeah, we'll get to it.
no,
I feel like the
Jeffries
next
tubes.
episode's going to be real fun. Yes.
Did anybody notice that during the HMS Enterprise scene, like on the holodeck, they used the Deep Space Nine music?
Oh, I didn't notice
Oh, I
that.
didn't.
I was
catch
listening
that.
with headphones, and the ones on my TV are really nice, and I picked it up for like 30 seconds. They play it, and so it's keeping the trend of the movies using the songs that the TV shows will eventually pick up.
Yeah, actually, now that you mention it, I think I do remember it, and I was like, "Is that Voyager?" And I was like, "No, that's not brassy enough for Voyager."
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's Deep Space Nine.
yeah.
Yeah, there's no
Voyager was in
horns.
production though. They would have been, Voyager would have been in production at the same time this movie was probably wrapping.
Was it in production, or would it be pre-production at that point? Because DS9
was first.
started only a year before.
In '93, Voyager started January '95,
Okay.
so it would have been real close. So you're right; they might have just been like, yeah. But I think they were. I think they were at the. Now I'm curious. I'll look that. Anyway, sorry.
All right.
It's fine.
So potentially hot take here.
Oh no.
Go on.
Whilst in the Nexus, I really kind of enjoyed the scene in the kitchen where Kirk is frying up those eggs.
Why is that a hot take?
I don't know. It's just that this movie, given the
Not
current
well-loved.
given the current group of people, is not super well received.
Yeah,
Well, no,
But-
Made me want to eat some breakfast.
It did. Yes.
A
I was
little
like,
bit.
I should have some eggs.
But
Um,
I think the acting that Kirk was doing was actually really good in that scene.
mhm.
For most of it, there was like a little bit towards the end where he's going around and he's like, well, maybe it was more so the writing of the scene itself, but he's like, it's a clock. I gave that to Bones.
Yeah.
And then the dog like just magically shows up. Like the dog wasn't around when he was chopping wood, but now the dog shows up like sitting in the door and it's like, "You died 9 years ago,"
Yeah.
type thing. And it was like that kind of put me off of it. But like when he's like in the kitchen and he's like, "Pass me the paprika," or whatever the hell it was. And when he was like, "Something's missing," and then the toast pops in, is like, "Ha." I really that did it for me. I really enjoyed that.
I actually
But
really
toast looked really
do
good.
like the interaction between the two captains. I just thought they were it was nice to have the two captains that are know what they're doing and know what their spaces are, but also they didn't butt heads or
Mhm.
they didn't have to fight each other, because I find in a lot of like movies and TV shows when you have like the two like main people get together, they always hate each other first, or they're always trying to fight each other at first. Whereas this is just like, oh hey, it's a guy. We're chit-chatting. I'm the captain of the Enterprise. You're the captain of the Enterprise. What? And they're just
Yeah.
Yeah.
doing
Kirk
the
came
thing.
at him
There-
with like genuine curiosity. He was like
Yeah.
actually curious about it,
Like there was a little bit of like friction between them when like Picard like gets aggravated. He's like, "You got to help me, take this guy out."
Mhm.
And he's like, "I'm gonna go serve breakfast in bed,"
Hmm.
and
I
then
don't
he
know.
winds up in a stable.
Yeah, I think personally, I think Kirk is right. I'd have been like, "That's nice. I just got here. I'm gonna do my stuff."
But it's not real.
So,
Like,
you're on Team Malcolm McDowell.
No, no, I am not on Team Malcolm McDowell.
because of the genocide.
Well, there's that part.
Tracy loves genocide.
I have this app called Twitter you would enjoy.
Oh God. No, I'm on the fact that like, look, Kirk just got there. He's in a place that he enjoys and remembers. He's like, Picard tells him he's like, time works differently here. So what does it matter if he leaves at this instant or
Oh,
he
that's true.
leaves an hour from
Yeah.
now or
Grab me
Yeah.
in 50
10
years.
months from
It doesn't
now?
matter.
Yeah.
It doesn't really matter.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because we're still going to show up 5 minutes before I get here.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's
Yeah,
why I'm on Kirk's, but I am not on Soren's side where he's like, let's kill all of the people and everybody in this solar system so I could be in a place. No, I'm not on that.
Can we
Look,
stop naming bad guys? Or
it's a pre-industrial civilization. There's only 100 million people living on the planet. It's a small price to pay for eternal bliss.
for one man's eternal happiness.
One man.
It's like a prank. It's a prank. Why are you so mad? It's a prank.
Yeah. Haha, blew up your son.
It's like, I don't know those
Same.
people. He's like, oh, yeah.
I mean, I'm gonna get on your side, Tracy. I'll say I'm on team. Let Kirk enjoy his retirement.
Yeah. I'm
He
like,
deserves
you
it.
show up out of nowhere. Everybody thinks he's dead anyways. He's like, so can't I just have a good time for a
And
little
he's
while?
an old man. Like he's not like you're not like I've got this action scene and I want that guy.
Hey, we get some Kirk foo, which is
Yeah.
worth the price of the movie ticket.
Why-
I
I was just gonna say, why didn't like Picard just go like, I'll go back, just give me a bunch of guns. I'll just like shoot the guy when he's not
Yeah.
looking, and I'll deal with everything. You'll give me whatever I
Yeah.
want, including dead captains.
I mean, I don't think this is the Matrix. Like, I don't think you can just be like, you know
It
what, I need
kind of
guns,
is the
lots
Matrix.
of guns.
Well, I don't think you can bring
100%
objects
is the
out of it.
Matrix.
I
Yeah.
mean, they don't really establish the rules very well, but I think only the people can leave.
And whatever
Yeah.
they showed up in.
Did he leave?
Yeah.
I'd say I still say he doesn't leave.
It seems like more of a stream of consciousness thing as opposed to like a place you're transported to, but like also at the same time it's like there's no dead bodies on the planet while he's there.
I mean, true.
But wait. Sorry, I just thought of this. Like, if the ribbon is traveling through space, right? And it's I can't remember what year it is, but anyways, so when it picks them up on Viridian 3 and then it moves away, how do they then go back to Viridian 3 if the ribbon's like, I don't know, 5-6 light years away by this point?
Well,
Because
because
it's because of the Jeremy Bearimy.
Jeremy Bearimy? I never heard that before.
Oh, that was
The timeline.
from the timeline from The Good Place.
Oh, I still haven't finished that show. I
It's
need
because
to.
time doesn't exist
Yeah.
in the thing, so they can go back to whatever time because in the
You
thing, time.
Time.
Could they go anywhere in time? Like even if the
Yes.
ribbon is near it, like they could
Yeah.
end up on Earth or.
Yeah, I don't know why they decided to only give themselves like 20 minutes when they got back. Like,
Yeah.
maybe get there like a couple days early.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Set up a little
Yeah.
trap for Sauron.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Blow up all his equipment that's obviously he didn't build that day.
Pre-staged. Yeah.
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 But then I think you get back to like another paradox where you get back 20 days earlier, but Picard's on a ship 20 days away.
Yeah.
Does that mean there's two Picards now?
Well, I mean, same question, but only 20 minutes. Like, why didn't he see himself?
That's what I said earlier.
Oh, yeah.
That is what I
Sorry,
said
yeah.
earlier.
Sorry, I
And
didn't catch
it's a
that earlier.
dream.
I didn't even think of that until you mentioned it.
So, yeah.
It's a dream.
So I'm just
Josh-
very confused by the whole thing. But,
I mean,
All Star Trek since Generations has just been in the Nexus.
I feel like this is the right answer. It's like
Oh.
they had an idea of where they wanted to be in the Nexus because the Nexus makes things happen. They had an idea of where they wanted to be. So the Nexus created that space, and that is where they are. So I agree with Steve. I think they're just all in the Nexus still.
Yeah.
yeah, it's. I mean, it is like the Matrix, and Malcolm McDowell is Joey Pants trying to get back in.
It's-
I mean, yes.
Yeah, that's what it is. It's a lie, but it's great, and we're
You
all
think
living it.
Do you think Malcolm
it's
McDowell
never
was
gonna
like,
get
when I get back into the Nexus, I'm going to be somebody cool like an actor
Yeah, he's got like the long trench coat on and the cool glasses.
and eating steak?
Yeah, he's eating steak.
Delicious steak. Okay.
Can we all agree that Malcolm McDowell is killing it as the bad guy? Like
Oh my
he's
God, he
just
always
chewing the
does.
scenery.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So much
Yeah.
fun to watch.
Yeah. He's
I
a
mean,
great
what's great
actor.
about him is that he just seems so innocent from the very beginning that you see him. He's
He
not
couldn't do that.
nefarious at all.
Yeah.
I do
Why
find
did you take me away?
I do find he was wasted though. Like he was wasted, right?
He
Oh, you think
didn't
so?
actually get a lot of screen time, I found.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Well,
I feel
because there was like 8 other plots going.
yeah. Wait,
That is true.
Can you name some of the plots for us there? So you
Well,
have
You've got the emotion chip.
yeah.
You've got Picard's brother stuff.
Yeah.
You've got whatever the Klingons are doing.
Yes.
And then I guess the ribbon stuff, right? And then I think that's it. So I guess it's just 4 plots.
It's 4.
4 plots.
But they don't really serve each other, which is weird. They sort of intertwine, but they don't like build up to one thing.
Well, like the Klingons,
Which I'm okay with. Like the show
the
has the
Klingons
A
and
and
the
B plot
ribbon.
usually.
or well, sorry, the Klingons and the sun blowing up are related.
Right, but
Because
that's not
the Klingons
why-
want the
oh,
weapon, right?
They
Oh
just
no,
want
that was Romulans, wasn't it?
Well,
No,
it was
they-
they stole the trilithium from the Romulans, which
Yeah.
is why the Romulans show up at the station at the beginning.
Yeah.
But then Lursa and B'Etor want the weapon that
That's right.
Soren.
Sorry, I said a brain fart.
McDowell's made.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah. So yeah.
But like
the
they're
Jurassic
not
is really
related to the ribbon though. They just serve it. Right? Like
Yeah.
they're not like we want to do ribbon stuff. They're like
Yeah.
no, we just want to do regular Klingon stuff
Yeah.
and we're going to do that in a fight now with the Enterprise.
Well, yeah,
Yeah.
the only reason why they're putting up with Soren is because Soren promised them a weapon so that they can go back to the Empire to take over. Like
Yeah.
that's their
Yeah.
whole thing. They're like, we don't care what he wants to do on the side. We're
Yeah.
just, he's just on our ship and he's supposedly helping us, but he essentially just gets them killed.
Yeah.
Right,
So-
but we have to deal
Well-
with the Klingons though. Like that's still a plot point that we need to like tie up. Like that's its own story of us
Mhm.
destroying it with the like all that stuff with Geordi and like his GoPro and all that kind of stuff. That's its own thing that exists outside of the Nexus.
That is true. Yes.
Yeah.
I think
feel-
that's the movie's downfall, to be honest. It doesn't feel theatrical because of that. It still feels episodic.
Yes, it does. It does.
Is that
And
necessarily a bad thing, though?
Yeah, like that doesn't bother me because I really like this movie a lot.
yeah, but it's episodic in like a early season way, not like a later season way, I find.
I feel like you could cut a good episode out of this.
Mhm.
Like I feel like you could
Oh, this would be a
get it
great
down to
two-parter.
like yeah,
Yeah.
you could be like yeah, it could be a pretty decent two-parter, but I think you could get it good down to like a really solid 45 minutes.
And it'd probably feel a lot better as
Yeah.
well.
It, like get everything to kind of flow together a little more. It's very disjointed,
Mhm.
like in a structural way. That's sort of my main problem with the movie. It's fun in its like bits. Like I enjoy I enjoy like a lot of the pieces on like a micro level, but
Mhm.
then like as an overall experience, it's very like I was on one rail and now it's on another one, and it's like jumping around in a weird way, and
Yeah.
Data is very annoying.
I'm probably super biased because I just think back to my 12-year-old self, 12 or 13-year-old self seeing it in theaters, just being the happiest kid ever. Like I love this so much.
Yeah,
Mhm.
the two captains, one movie.
Yeah.
Yes. I mean, Kirk does get, killed by a bridge, his first
Very,
love, so
very, yeah. Like
I
very
mean like
unheroic death.
I
Yeah.
mean in the 60s you did watch the show be like that guy's gonna die by bridge. I could just tell. They're just telegraphing it too much. They're like hero death on a bridge.
Mhm.
Let's just do bridge.
Too many
So-
two-fisted punches.
So
Yeah.
can we talk about the three old guys fighting on this random planet?
Yeah.
The Lutman party?
yes.
Is that what you would call that?
There was just like a lot of rolling in dirt, right? Or was that just me?
Yeah.
I mean,
can't defend it.
it's cheap to shoot film in the desert.
Yeah.
Oh, are they at what's that spot in California? where we
No,
saw
I
it?
don't think they are. I don't
No,
think
it
they
didn't
are.
look like it. Yeah.
They're-
Was
no,
there a
they're
Gorn
you know what I'm
fight
talking about,
behind
right?
a rock?
Yeah,
Yeah, the
that's
Dorn Rock.
Vasquez Rock.
Vasquez Rock. That's what I'm thinking of.
Yeah.
Imagine a Gorn showed up while they were there. Oh my god.
He would have been fine. Kirk would have survived. Gorns you can handle.
Yeah.
Yes.
Bridges.
Even when he's in his 80s, like
He's just got to make dynamite.
Yes. Out of what?
That would have been amazing, though,
bamboo?
if an old Gorn to like suit Kirk's age just kind of came out of the rocks holding like a giant rock.
Wearing a Gorn girdle.
Yeah.
do you all like the new Gorn in like Strange New Worlds?
I do. I think it's
Like,
a scary
yeah.
take on them.
I agree. Like
Right.
they're a bit too CGI for me sometimes, but
Just gonna hold up my mouse pad here.
oh, awesome.
Vasquez Rocks. It's awesome.
That is so cool. I want that. My mouse pad's just black. It's boring.
I did really like how they were presented when we first see them on screen, and it was essentially them redoing Alien.
Mhm.
But then, like Sean said, when they actually started moving and doing stuff, we're just like, that's so much CG. Like it's just,
It is.
yeah.
Yeah.
And the shows, they do other really good CG. But I agree. Like these ones didn't really work out.
Mhm.
Jaws is only good when you don't see him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah.
I mean, it's the horror movie rule, right? You ruin it
Yeah.
when you see him.
The what's the Hitchcock quote? The scare is not in the bang, but the lead up or something like that.
Mhm.
It's the anticipation, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's why thrillers work so well, because you don't see murders, you don't see what's happening. It's all about like the threat of what's going to happen or what you
That's
haven't
why
seen happen
Alien
yet.
is a better movie than Aliens.
Yeah, no, I think
I mean, it
What
probably
a
is.
startup
I just love aliens.
here's my hot take. I don't like aliens.
You're a crazy person.
Yeah.
That's a crazy hot take.
I know, exactly.
That's like Tracy not liking Fury Road.
That's me.
Well, no, that just makes sense.
I just sort
I
of
had to
as
bring
a
it up,
rule
Tracy. Sorry.
don't like James Cameron, except for like T2. But like,
You don't like Avatar 2, the best movie ever made?
Oh my
Yeah,
god.
it was
I gotta sit
and,
next to
like,
Tracy during that, and a lot of
T2. I mean, sorry, Aliens, Alien 2 feels very James Cameron-y. Like it feels like it hits a lot of his things that he hits
yeah.
on.
But
a
that's
whole
when
bunch
he
of
was like
times.
so good.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
No, it's when he was good. I
Do you
get
not like The
that, but
Abyss?
it's still like, oh, I haven't seen The Abyss. I should see that one.
What? Oh,
Wait.
you gotta
Like-
watch The Abyss.
But like, Game Over, man. Like that whole thing.
Oh,
is
Bill,
dumb.
that made me love Bill Paxton.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
You can't. No, no. Mm-mm. This is the one time. No.
Hey, I said hot take. You're not allowed to get mad now.
You have said all.
I'm so angry, Josh.
You have literally said all of the best parts, and I'm just like, what are you talking about? You're crazy.
We lost Hudson too soon.
We
need a spin-off movie.
Way too soon.
You know what? Fine. I'll give it another chance. I'll watch it. I haven't seen it in like 15 years. So
give it another shot.
Maybe I wasn't in a good mood when I was 21.
He's the only person who got killed by an alien, a Terminator, and a Predator. That's why.
It's pretty
that's right. He's in Predator 2.
He's in Predator 2? Yeah, he's some businessman
he's an LA
who
cop.
gets murdered. Yeah.
In the subway, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I also like True Lies. True Lies is also fun.
Lies
but that feels like
there's a lot of good James Cameron movies, just not recently.
Yeah. No, I know. Like True Lies is fun though, but I feel like he's poking fun at himself in that one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So going back to the movie, so I know we originally talked about Spot, but apparently Livingston is dead and nobody looks for him or cares.
Oh, the fish.
Livingston hasn't been there since the 3 light incident or the 4 light incident.
Really?
Since Jellicoe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait.
Right.
Jellicoe
Jellicoe's
gets
like get rid of the fish.
He never comes back?
Yeah.
I
remember.
I remember. I thought the fish tank got removed completely in that episode, but in later episodes, I definitely remember seeing the fish tank. I don't specifically remember seeing the fish, and now I'm gonna have to go back and look.
Do you think they flushed him?
A little big, you know.
Number one,
real big.
So obviously no, because he would have been re-replicated into food.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
True.
Oh, yeah,
Maybe they just put him in space and he became like one of those space fish.
Oh.
Like a
Like
space
the
whale
space
they deal with.
tardigrade or whatever?
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
That would be great. Like, why haven't they done that? Like when Disco goes to the year 3000 or whatever, they come across the Picard's fish that he's evolved into an interstellar being that sees through time and space.
That has all the knowledge of everything.
Yeah, all the knowledge of the universe.
The traveler finds Livingston.
Yeah.
You have potential.
Oh no, I'm wrong. You know when Livingston shows up again in that Genesis episode?
He does.
Yeah, that's definitely season 7.
So he does come back.
Okay. When everybody de-evolves, right? It's that one?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Wait, does that mean Livingston de-evolved as well? I wonder what he would have de-evolved to. What if he de-evolved to something that didn't breathe water and drowned in it, so then they had to get rid of it again?
I think it would be the opposite, though, wouldn't it?
It says it was like a jellyfish-like creature.
Oh.
It de-evolved to.
Huh.
Yeah.
Okay. I have another question. When did we find out that the fish's name is Livingston?
For me, it was a podcast making a joke, and I think it was The Greatest Generation talked about it or something, and that's when I first clocked it.
Okay.
That was his name.
I wanted to say about
someone named it after. Is it David Livingston, the director? He did like so many episodes of Star Trek, Voyager, and Deep Space Nine.
Oh, okay.
So that's why it's named Livingston, I think.
I googled something and it said the fish's name was Livingston, but they never actually say it in.
No, they never say it in the
Yeah.
show.
Okay. All right.
It's like so many of the Star Wars characters, and you never hear their
Devils do a
names.
matter of time. Yeah.
Yeah.
Google AI just told me every episode his name is 7. So there's like 4 or 5 of them.
The original Hasbro action figure for the fish said Livingston on it, so that's the only reason we know.
Oh man, I only ever had Worf and Lore.
Yeah.
Loser.
Do we have? I'm at the end of my notes for this movie. My second to last note is I guess Livingston is dead, and then we already talked about the thing from Galen that he threw away. So yes.
Oh, I had a question. So when Data cries, a yellow, gross liquid comes out of his eyes. What is that?
Lubricant.
Like Android lubricant?
Yes.
Yep.
He's fully functional, Sean.
Well, no, I'm not going to go there, but you know where I was going to go.
I'm going to go there.
Tashi Yar had to see that.
Yeah.
I have a question.
It depends on his performance.
So I have a question. So in First Contact, the Borg Queen asks them last time he had sex, and he says, "Is it 8 years?" Or
yeah.
So is he talking about Tasha Yar, or is he talking about the Data's Day episode?
Is got to
Or
be.
season 1.
So did he not have sex with his girlfriend?
No, I don't think
they were
so.
only dating for like a week, maybe. So maybe they were taking it slow. But
Yeah, and that episode was
in
in the 90s, and the 90s were different than the 80s when he and Yar got it on.
That is true.
Well, I mean, like back in the 80s and before, I'm pretty sure like husbands and wives slept in separate beds.
yeah, Leave It to Beaver.
I think, thinking about it, probably the first show that I can think of where they're in the same bed is like Roseanne.
It's the Flintstones.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
That had to be a cartoon first.
Okay.
That is a random bit of knowledge that I know.
Okay.
I thought it was Real Sex 17.
They don't
that
sleep.
was the first.
They don't sleep in that show, so it's fine.
Oh, I see.
yeah.
All right,
Busy
it
having
was
sex.
accept-
I did mean live action, but
Okay.
Flintstones. That's
So
so
it was
trivial
real
knowledge
sex.
to have.
Yeah. It's very
Yeah.
random knowledge to have. Yes. I guess if nobody has any more comments about Generations, we can skip out of First Contact.
Well, I can give you the review that my partner said at the end of Generation. She had never seen it before.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Please
So-
do.
Fresh eyes. I wrote it down verbatim. Hold on. I thought that was quite boring.
Aw. I disagree.
Hey, I can't argue.
Yeah.
No, you can't. You
Yeah.
can't
Fresh eyes.
argue.
Yep, fresh eyes.
I have definitely have bias eyes.
Yes. Yeah.
Very biased.
I feel Generations as well is one of those movies is that if you are not a fan of Star Trek and like you haven't put time and effort into making a connection with the characters, I understand why she thinks it's boring because they don't try to like show new connections. They don't introduce people. It's not like, oh, look at what these guys are doing and look at what these guys are doing. They're having fun together. No, they just go right into it and stuff's happening randomly. And you're like,
If you
oh,
know,
okay.
you know.
Yeah,
Mhm.
that's
But
exactly
I-
what
I think they learned from that for First Contact because I feel like they did a much better job introducing the characters and
and showing
Yeah.
their bond better, right?
yeah.
I do think that even she was like, wait, is that really how they kill off Kirk?
I think everybody thought that. Like
Wait, really?
everybody.
It's weird.
Yeah, that's a very good point.
I feel like his first death makes much more sense than, falling down and have a bridge land on you.
Like it almost feels like they ran out of money and they're like, oh, what do we do now?
Mhm.
I doubt that's what happened, but it just kind of
Let's just have him ragdoll down a cliff.
yeah.
And, that'll
Yeah.
be
It looks
be
so
good.
bad.
I mean,
Our
it
50-year-old
already almost happened in what was it? Episode 4? No, episode 5, where Kirk's climbing up the cliff face in Yosemite.
Oh yeah.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Or
Spock and his
maybe
hover
not
boots save
Yosemite,
him.
but yeah.
It would have been amazing. Leonard Nimoy came in at just that moment, grabbed the break.
But what if they did a Gwen Stacy and it was right when he hit his head on the ground or something? That'd have been sick.
Oh yeah.
That really bothered me, that death. I did not.
I mean,
I'm so used to Spider-Man catching the girl, and then,
Yeah.
and then
I-
he catches her right as she smacks her head. Oh.
here's the other thing though. They have infinite redos because they can just let the ribbon catch them again. So like they should just like keep going until it's exactly right.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, you're
Essentially.
right.
Yeah.
And what a montage that would be too,
Can you imagine? That'd be amazing. They're like, here's try number 264. Let's do this. It'll be fine.
Oh no, a different planet blew up that time.
God damn it. Oh, we're back in the Nexus with my creepy Victorian children. Christmas.
Yeah. Okay.
Papa, come on.
Real talk.
Yes.
This is, yeah. I don't know. I thought about this earlier when watching TNG, but like, yeah, why is Jean-Luc Picard have children and family with an English accent? In the Christmas scene specifically, why are they dressed up in Victorian era clothes?
I don't know.
Well,
They did the same thing with Janeway. Like when before they switched to what is it, Da Vinci? She had the holo novels where she was like a Victorian
She was like
what's
a
Like
like
a
a
countess
like
or
a
something?
Yeah, thank you, a countess. Yeah,
Yeah.
and it's like, so these people in the 24th century want to live in the 18th century. Like, it's just very
So
strange to me.
I'm
Yeah,
pretty sure in
but
like 2187, Britain finally takes over France, as they obviously should have in 1750. And then everyone's like, well, we're going to start from that point
Yeah.
when we
Well,
should have taken over. So that's why everyone's Victorian.
they
Yeah.
do explain it in possibly the worst season ever of Star Trek, Picard
season
season 2.
Oh my god!
I think it's season 2. They say in World War II the Picard family flees France and lives in England.
Yeah, and then they
okay.
come back
Yeah,
to their
so
chateau.
but I think that's
when he's a
retconning it
kid.
though.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah. Also,
Yeah,
I have an issue with that retcon because like my mother's family lived in England for like a year or two,
yeah.
and her youngest sister got an English accent from living over there for like a year or two.
Is it Madonna?
Also, let's not forget about all the kids nowadays in North America with English accents because they watch a whole bunch of Peppa Pig.
Yes, that is a
Wait, is Peppa
phenomenon.
Pig British?
Yeah,
Yes.
Yeah.
and
Never watched it.
Bluey's Australian.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
if it was American, Sean, it would be called Pepper Pig. Come on.
You have to have a hard R on there. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like I feel like the Picard family would reacclimate to the French accent.
Well, yeah. Like they still own the vineyard unless they buy it back later. Like, didn't they go back after the war? Like most of the French.
No,
Well,
but-
Picard grew up there, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
But
So yeah,
acco-
so the family stayed apparently.
But
You know how the French love
according-
England.
But according to Star Trek Picard, I know what episode you're talking about. They moved back there when Picard was a kid, right?
Oh,
Like
yeah.
his family went there when Picard was a kid.
Yeah.
Surprisingly, that also didn't say anything about his brother being there, but whatever.
Yeah, no, it's just something that did not need explaining. Like, it is 100% something that they were just like, you know what people have always mentioned? That he's the most British man in the world, and he's supposed to be French.
Yeah.
We
Let's
should talk
fix
about
that. Yeah, we should deal with that.
But I think he's the only non-American captain, right? Maybe not Burnham, because grew up in Vulcan. But sorry, him and Burnham are the only non-Americans.
Oh, you mean like the character?
Oh, sorry,
yes.
yeah.
Character.
Yeah, because Riker's from Alaska.
Well, sorry, I strictly
Well,
captains.
he's not a captain.
He
Well,
becomes
where's
a
Cisco
Jane,
from?
Kirk's from Iowa. Cisco's from Louisiana. I think New Orleans.
Mm.
I can't remember
Oh,
where
New
Janeway's
Orleans, yeah,
from,
that
but I'm
makes
pretty
sense,
sure
yeah.
she's American.
Indiana.
Indiana, yeah.
Mm.
There's a
Yeah.
whole
There's a
episode about
statue.
that.
Archer is from also the States. I can't remember where.
Yeah. Yes.
Oh, I don't know where Archer's from. That's a good question.
You know, I'm
Montana?
watching Enterprise now. I'm on season 2, and they mentioned it recently, and I just can't think of what it was.
Where's Pike from?
Like he lives in one of like the
Mojave.
smaller.
He's from Mojave.
Oh, is he? Oh,
Yeah.
like I get it. It's an
And he
American
owned
show.
a
They're gonna
horse
make them
named
American. I
Tango.
get it, but
Upstate New York, Archer's from. Kind
Oh.
of a bit of a letdown. I don't know why.
yeah. Wait, so sorry. Where? Like New York? What?
It says upstate
Is this
New York.
upstate New York? Yeah.
Oh,
Oh, he's
In
from
Close to Captain Dust.
2112.
Ugh.
Yes.
no, he's from Syracuse. But
Ooh, the mustard city.
I don't know. I got nothing against Syracuse. Sorry. Sorry to your Syracuse listeners, Tracy.
I'm gonna get so much mail about this. Oh my god.
I
We're
will
gonna come
not
across like Ontario and
apologize.
kick my ass.
Upstate New York and Aliens 2 sucks.
Oh my god.
Whoa, Josh. Whoa.
Okay, to be clear, I don't really have an issue with Aliens 2. It's Alien 1 is just the superior film. That's just anyways.
Oh, I thought you were going to say it was upstate New York. You had the issues.
yeah, I did too, actually.
Everybody knows that upstate New York is terrible.
All right. So Sulu was born in San Francisco.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, Tracy's right. Rikers, Alaska.
Janeway's Bloomington, Indiana.
Sorry, the reason why I remember he's from Alaska is because in the Lower Decks episode, somebody tells, I don't know, the kid who's trying to like suck up to him or whatever,
Yeah.
somebody tells him he's Canadian, and he goes up and tries to talk because that kid's Canadian, and he tries to talk to Riker about it. He's like, "I'm from Alaska." I was like, "Oh my god!" That's
does
why
Hey,
seem
so
like a
Canada
cop-out.
still exists in the future. That's good.
apparently.
Trump doesn't take us over.
Whoop, whoop.
Yeah, but he says something there about Alaska being part of Canada.
I mean,
Oh,
does he?
really?
Oh, does he?
Well,
I don't
it
remember
should
that.
be.
I forget
Like,
how I
that's-
remembered or how I learned Riker was from Alaska. I feel like they mentioned it in TNG at some point.
Well,
Yeah,
I mean that
and
lower decks
Oh, yeah, yeah.
episode is from that one. But then also I think the episode where his dad shows up,
Mhm.
they talk about going fishing in Alaska and stuff like that.
Yeah,
as
that's
well.
probably how.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Pulaski has boned Riker's dad, but she never told him.
Maybe that's his real mommy and he doesn't know.
Oh.
Mm.
No, Riker has
Scandal.
daddy issues because he was mean to his mom or he left her or something. I can't remember.
No,
Yeah.
his mom died and he and the dad, like, his own kind of grieving distanced himself from his kids and like left him and went on and
Mhm.
stuff.
Okay.
Yes. That's why
So
they were
anyways, First
fighting each
Contact.
other. Okay, I just have to say I hate the credits of First Contact. It just made me think of
They're
like,
kind of boring.
I
The
didn't
opening
have
credits?
I didn't have my glasses on. I had to squint.
Yeah.
See the
It's like
things
you're in a
was-
nebula and then the names just like show up. Like
Yeah, it was a little smaller font. It was definitely no Star Trek 6 where the font changed colors over time.
Oh yes, it wasn't that. Yes. God. Yes. I don't know. I just hated those credits. It starts on stardate 50893.5, which is apparently November 23rd, 2373 at 3:03 and 35 seconds AM. Just I don't know.
Thanks for
Start-
doing that conversion for us.
You're welcome.
Is that UTC or Eastern Standard?
I believe
It-
that doesn't count in with star dates.
Probably UTC.
Okay.
Did you say what day in November did you say? November?
No, November 23rd.
It was released on November 22nd, 1996.
Coincidence?
I think not. I think the 22nd just happened to be the Friday, and they're like, shit.
Yeah.
It's the wrong day.
It's funny that we're like, oh, we did the math wrong.
No. But
Off like 10 people.
the math works because it's like UTC will hit first, and then we'll get it in North America.
Right.
It's also 3:00 in the morning. It's still the 22nd. It's fine.
No,
It's
three
fine.
3 o'clock in the morning. It's it's 5 hour difference for the East Coast.
Yeah, but that means
That'd be-
this is GMT.
That'd be like 10 o'clock. Yeah, I don't know. Time math is annoying.
Yes,
I
it
mean,
is.
let's be fair. We all know that in space it's always San Francisco time.
Yeah.
Yep.
It is true because also like with like the distances they're traveling and all this kind of stuff, there is time dilation. So even if you have 10 ships and they start at the same time, one will go one way, one will go another way, and one will go somewhere else, and they'll all come back and they should technically have different times when they return, unless they go to the exact same place.
Provided they travel at the same distance at the same speed.
Yeah.
Because like the faster you approach the speed of light, the more time slows down. Question mark?
Yes.
So
Yes.
so you're saying that if one planet left Rigel 7 at 8 p.m. traveling at warp 2 and another ship Vulcan
Whoa, which Vulcan ship? Come on, Jeff.
Yeah, well there you go.
Yes. Well, this is also a nitpicky, nerdy thing about Star Trek that drives me crazy. Is
On this show?
they don't think about like time dilation is not a thing, and I know they try to like argue that away within the show, but I'm like, no, that doesn't make any sense, guys.
Mhm.
It's fine because like the
Well,
warp.
the Borg
Orville
seem
does a
pretty
cool
good
thing.
at it.
Mm.
Sorry, Steve. What?
And the Orville does an episode where they're in like our era and they have to get back to the future, and they just turn the thing off on the ship, and then they go to hype or warp whatever to a certain point, turn around, come back, and in the future.
Really?
They don't even slingshot around the sun.
No, because there's a part of the shielding, so when they go to warp, they don't like do that. Like that doesn't happen. They don't just time travel like into the future. They can go forward, they just can't go backwards.
Okay.
Anyway,
That actually makes sense. That makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it the Einstein-Rosenstein button?
Yeah, I actually think that's maybe what it was called.
Yeah, there's definitely a thing. This is the first time we see Geordi with his new eyes, no visor,
Bionic Man.
bionic eye things going on.
Thank God for him, because
But you know
that
what?
was awful.
I've heard actors complain about, especially like actors in horror movies have to be a monster or something. Like the contacts you have to wear are awful. Or like if your eyes go black, like you're a demon. Apparently, it's so uncomfortable to wear.
Yeah,
It would be ironic if he was still somehow blind while wearing the.
Probably is.
We don't you don't have to wear the stupid visor anymore. Sweet, you just have to wear these that you can't see in.
Yeah.
There was actually in this movie there was a good number of eyeball close-ups because you also got like the Borg body horror stuff.
I hate that in the opening scene with the drill.
With the drill going in his eye. Oh my God!
I hate eye stuff.
The drill going in the eye, and then later
everyone
on,
here loves eye stuff.
Yeah, and then later on when they were doing when they were like converting the crew, and they had like the whatever on the eyeball, and then
you see the scab and
they slap the thing on top.
Yeah. That was
I thought
very
that looked
intense.
great though. I thought that was awesome.
No, it's really, really like obviously practical effects, very well done.
The little arm that was just like moving around, like
yeah, like they like cut off the forearm and like
Put
I don't know what you call it.
Metal thingy at the end or whatever.
Put like a stub on it.
They can change up the arm.
Yeah, so
it's an adapter.
He can have claw arm or he can have like sonar arm.
Super practical.
It's just a wall. Like what?
Yeah.
What's the mission today?
Yeah.
Crab hand. Got it.
I do have a note that this is much brighter than in Generations on the ship, so I was fine with that.
Not by much. I mean, even the beginning before the Borg take it over.
Fairly dark.
Yeah. His ready room was dark. I don't get it.
I don't think so compared to Generations, though. I think Generations was like legitimately they had very little lights on. But for First Contact, I also think First Contact's bridge is just darker because all that like maroon. It's a lot of maroon.
Yeah, but I also think like for me at least, it's more acceptable because I'm like it's a different ship. So I was like, if the lighting's weird, that's fine. It's just new lighting on a new ship. Whereas Generation is like. It's supposed to be the same ship. Why is it so dark?
Well, no, isn't Generations the Enterprise B, which only existed during Generations?
No, it's the D, isn't it?
It's the D.
Oh, sorry. I'm thinking of the start of Generations.
Okay, no, that's the B. Yes, that's the B, and that ship is very bright. All the lights are on that one.
Yeah.
Is B the one the Enterprise that disappears? Because C is the one that fights the Klingons, right?
Yeah,
and
we don't know what happens.
We don't know what happens to it.
Yeah,
it just disappears, doesn't it?
Yeah, and that's what they should have made a movie on instead of.
Or why not make a show about it? Like I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, apparently there is a like novelization series that follows that captain. So might be on the
Alan
Enterprise
Ruck
B still.
Is he the cat? Like
Yeah.
I know they talk about B, and I think yesterday's Enterprise when the C shows up, I believe, or I can't remember what episode they talk about it, but I wonder if it's that he's still the captain.
Yeah.
I think it has a couple of captains over its time, but it definitely does just vanish, and it is, I think, the only Enterprise that you don't know what happens to.
Yeah, and I would.
Oh, and the E, I guess. You don't really know what happens to the E.
They don't want to talk about that.
Is it the E or the F?
It's the E.
No, the E.
Well, does the E survive Nemesis? Like,
it survives through the end.
It rams into the Romulan ship.
Yeah,
it's pretty awesome.
Sure.
Oh, I was just gonna say, is it still the Enterprise E if every part has been replaced?
That's a good question.
Yeah.
Because I know they do bring up Enterprise E in Picard, and they make a joke with Worf about it, being like, "I don't want to talk about it. It wasn't my fault." So.
I mean, I feel bad for any security officer in Star Trek because for plot reasons they have to fuck up their job constantly. or you wouldn't have
Yeah.
tension or drama or action, or
Yeah.
like Odo lets so many things go on D Space Nine, but it's just plot reasons.
You
Yeah, but
got to
that's because
pick your
he's following
battles.
Quark.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's obsessed with this
Well,
bartender.
because it's really shocking to me that nobody on the Enterprise in this movie noticed that Borgs transported over to their ship at any point.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
was like, what?
Well, the one character in engineering climbs up the ladder and starts like yelling out, "Paul, Paul, you okay?" And then no one is like, you can see in the background the people working in engineering. No one's like, "Hey, is anything up? Like, maybe we should call this in."
Everybody's all henchman flipping lever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do
Yeah.
like nothing's wrong.
Well, we
Nothing
get
to see
some
here.
horror movie logic.
I think
Yeah.
right after that happens, though, like Picard gets a call, like he knows that something's happened, that
Yeah.
these two crew have been assimilated, and the deck is like locked down instantly. Like I think they're pretty on top of it.
Yeah.
I mean, they expand quickly. Like,
Yeah.
I have to say though, the opening shot of the Enterprise E is possibly one of my favorite shots in all of
Agreed.
Star Trek. Like
I
it
forgot how
is-
good it looked till I watched it yesterday.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
mwah. French kiss.
Those nacelles, so angular, so cherry red.
Yeah,
Ugh.
Yes.
it's good.
That's
Tip.
upsetting.
The cherry red, or
Yeah, no, the cherry red. Cherry red's what got me on that one. It's like Picard and Data with the Phoenix, right? Get a room.
Oh, God.
They'll leave the three of you to get the three of you alone.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I will
Or
say
the
this
Cherry red
movie
makes sells.
this movie like started like as soon as it starts compared to like Generations. There was like a little bit of build up, building the story, blah blah blah. No, this movie was just like, here we go immediately.
The
Just
movie has started
started.
now. Please
Yes,
enjoy.
exactly. Which I liked and also didn't like, because you sort of want to like ease into like, what are you guys up to, and then have the story start. But also it was kind of refreshing not to have to sit there and listen to random banter for a while. You
see,
know?
I think this was the best way to do it, because there was so much to explain. They had a new ship, there's new uniforms, like everything is different. So I think they just went about it as like, this is a movie. Even if you don't know Star Trek, you could watch this movie and have a good time.
Yes.
Stellar photography. What did your partner think of it? Did they?
She liked it. It was a real movie. Like,
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
It's,
Is that the verbatim review?
No, I don't have a verbatim review for that one, but
Okay.
like we were talking about it during it, and it's a movie. Like, it's a movie first, rather than a Star Trek thing, which is sort of like it. I think probably what might have been the issue with that's a lot of qualifications. What could have been the problem with Generations is they're trying to serve too many masters, right? Like they're trying to they're really shoehorning in the Kirk stuff. Like, that is just like, we need to get this on first, and then we're gonna move all this other stuff, and we're gonna weave all these other things in it, and like the emotion stuff that we never dealt with, we'll deal with that. And it just feels like they're trying to tie up too many things at once. This movie does have two plots, but they serve each other symbiotically. Like, one happens because of the other, and that they both have to be solved the same way in order to get to where we need to go, which is history rewriting itself.
Yeah. And essentially they have to be solved in the same timeline as well, so you understand the urgency of both lines, both storylines that are going on.
I actually love that Riker doesn't try, like, you don't see him anyways on screen trying to contact the Enterprise or reach them, or somehow he's like, no, I got a big mission down here to accomplish. This is I got to trust Picard, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. It's true.
Yeah, it was funny.
And actually, like, he's completely he doesn't know anything about the Borg still existing, because like when they're on the flight of the Phoenix, and it's just like Cochrane sees them in the rearview mirror and he's like, holy shit, and then it's like, they're just here to send us off.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
So,
they
like,
get shot at and everything, and they're like,
Yeah.
everything's great, guys. Yay.
Yeah, it's 2 minutes away from exploding.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love the music in that scene as the Enterprise is pulling up on the Phoenix, and it just like, it builds so well.
Mhm. And then it like blocks out the sun, and you're like,
Yeah.
what's going on?
Oh, and the music hits, like the TNG anthem hits right then. It's great.
It's very well directed. Go
I love
Frakes.
it. Go
Yeah,
Frakes,
James
Frakes did a great
Frakes.
job.
Yeah.
Won't be saying that in a few weeks.
No, he's done no wrong since. Everything he's touched has been amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Especially that last episode of Enterprise. Am I right, fellas?
God.
Well, that's not his. That's writing. That's a writing.
Yeah,
I'm
She's
still
like-
gonna put him on. He's still there.
I don't think I.
He's an accomplice.
Did he also direct it?
I don't know.
Oh.
I don't think so. Probably
Yeah.
not.
I don't know. I don't think so. It didn't. It doesn't feel Riker. Maybe though.
I
They
never
still
got
bring
to
him
the
in
end
to
of
direct
Enterprise.
stuff now, though. He still
Oh,
directs
yeah.
Star Trek.
He's great. He did the Strange New World Lower Decks crossover.
He did.
Oh,
done
yeah.
some
No,
neat. Yeah.
he's great. He's a great director. Like generally, like. But he also directed
Thunderbirds.
Sub Rosa, the Dr. Beverly or Crusher's
Oof.
ghost boyfriend,
Oh,
Probably
Candle ghost boyfriend.
my
Yeah,
go-to
yeah.
worst episode of Star Trek.
No, that's not.
He
the-
probably just did that for a laugh.
That's my
it's-
go-to. Like, oh, remember when it got bad?
See, I think it's fun bad. There's some really bad ones, like unwatchable ones.
I mean,
think
there's
that one's not
offensive-
unwatchable.
I mean, there's like ones that are like racist.
Yeah,
And like,
yeah.
so like, yeah, obviously those are worse on a different level.
Yeah,
But
Yeah.
I'm gonna say in terms of like artistically bad, like of like nonsense.
yeah.
Like
Well, you
that's
don't
the
want,
one
like,
that's fun
a-
to make fun of.
Like
the
a
problem.
possessed grandma and a ghost in a candle.
A haunted
She gets out of the
candle.
coffin
Yeah.
and grabs Data and Geordi and electrocutes them. So
Yeah,
good.
See,
So
the
what were
problem. The problem with that episode is that there wasn't any pottery. If there was pottery, the ghost would have been a happy ghost,
Yeah.
and everything would have been great.
Everyone knows candle ghosts are always angry.
Yes. That's why
Yeah,
they need the
she's
flame.
She's the doctor on the ship.
Yes.
Fell in love with a ghost candle.
And all
Gotta-
of her
you gotta keep it
ancestors
lit.
did too.
Gotta
Yeah,
keep it
apparently
lit.
all the female
Ugh.
ancestors in their family. Yeah.
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 Wouldn't that be like messed up? Wouldn't that mess you up to find out? Like my mom and my grandma and my great grandma, like that
Fucked
would
a
mess me
ghost.
up. Like all of you, yeah. And so
Yeah.
we all fucked the same ghost, not even just a ghost.
Also, this should be like news all over the galaxy.
Yeah. Family all fucks ghost.
Yeah.
The headline writes itself.
Yeah. I did. Pulitzer, please.
And it must be hard to be like a tabloid journalist in the 24th century. Everything just
Yeah.
sounds insane.
Yeah.
But who
Well,
like?
I mean, Bat Boy's real, right? Like we all.
Yeah.
But like, are there like quote unquote movie stars, or are there like debutantes? Are there, I don't know,
They
who
would
else is
be
famous?
holodeck
Are there
stars. It would all be holodeck
influencers?
experiences.
Well,
But,
okay.
like, was-
If we go back to Generations, there's reporters in the 22nd century,
Yes.
and also I think in Picard there's news. Like he's interviewed
Yeah.
at one point. Like, so it's just it's never consistent.
Yeah, I agree.
Like
No,
in
it was-
Enterprise, they love movies. So do movies die out 200 years out? Like it's always old
I think
movies from the
I think
50s.
holodecks just replace them because they become interactive. You
Yeah,
know? Like
true.
you're part of the story, and once you do that, maybe you can't go back. Maybe
I
it's
think like
just
any
not
kind of art
enjoyable.
form though, it would survive somehow. But yeah, maybe it just wouldn't be
Yeah,
as
I agree.
popular as.
Well, I'll go back to that.
Yeah, that's a good point.
The terrible episode of Enterprise, where it's his historical documents that he's going into. Maybe that's what the reporters are doing. Maybe they're making
Mhm.
those that they can go back and like
Yeah,
deal
Hollow
with.
News.
Hollow News people, and they
Mhm.
can like be as part of it.
hmm
You know,
So
all
before you
the-
go on the holodeck and jerk off, you watch the news and be part of it.
well, because when I watch the news now, I'm like, I want to be there.
Yeah, good point.
What, you're saying somebody's body was found in a basement? What was that like?
Who's
No.
president now?
Mhm.
I can be at the inauguration. No, thank you.
Yeah. Finally,
No,
I can hang out with all my bros.
Yeah.
Elon, Bezos, all those cool dudes.
Oh, Josh, always name dropping his buddies.
That's right. Me and Zuck's hanging out, being
Um,
bros, wearing chains.
Oh, he's so cool now.
God. So we're gonna come back to Star Trek to
Sorry.
the optimistic future. Thank you very much.
Mhm.
Uh, And they're in a battle with the Borg, and the Defiant shows up, all battle damage.
Oh.
And Adam
And Worf's
Scott
driving it.
Worf's driving it,
No,
and
but I was going to say
Adam
the same thing.
Scott is
Yeah.
is the helmsman. Yeah, I was like, this is
It's the
great.
Enterprise.
I was shocked though, like after this scene, because they're like, oh, transport the survivors from the Defiant onto the ship, but you never see Adam Scott again. So I'm like, wait, does that mean he died on the ship?
I think he did.
Yeah, okay. I'm just asking.
Yeah, that's too bad. That would have been amazing.
They only beamed Worf off.
Yeah,
They're just
Only
like
being the principal cast.
I did spend a lot of time looking at all of the Borg faces to be like, what if Adam Scott's one of the Borgs?
Oh, it'd be
That would have
amazing.
been cool.
that would have been good.
That would have been amazing. That would have
Now,
been very cool.
if you were gonna have a small part on Star Trek, that would be the best line to get, right? It's the Enterprise.
Oh my god,
It's the
I was
best
thinking the
one.
exact same thing. Yeah.
And he does such a great line reading too.
That's why he's famous now. He
Wait, I'm
deserves
trying
it.
to remember now. What was Christian Slater's line?
Oh.
Oh, when he woke up Sulu?
Yeah.
It was
Was
just
it Sulu he was talking to?
No, it was Kirk,
Yeah.
I think.
It's Kirk.
No, it was Sulu. It was on the Excelsior.
Sulu. It was on the Excelsior.
Yeah.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he wakes
Oh,
up
man, I
saying
remember that wrong.
like the headquarters, like Federation headquarters is calling.
Oh, yeah.
Asking
it's
for
probably something
location
like
Enterprise, and
Oh, wow.
he's just like,
yeah.
tell them we don't know location.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. That was a good one too. Like if I'm ever in I would love this to happen. I would love to be in a Star Trek episode. I don't have to stay aligned. I just need my face to be clearly on screen. That's it. That's all I want. I could just be a person like walking by, handing somebody something or whatever.
Yeah.
Or there's like this one shot of a engineer in engineering, and she's like at her station, and for some reason the camera starts like at very close to the side of her face, and then this is like weird circular pull.
Well, that's a Frakes move.
Yeah. I don't
Yeah.
know. I loved it, but if I was, she doesn't say any words. She doesn't actually do anything. If I was that character, I would have died. I'd have been like, yes, it'd have been amazing.
Did you all notice any of the extras from the series and the show? Like I noticed a whole bunch in both movies.
Well,
Oh,
Neelix-
but I noticed for sure in Generations.
Yeah, there's a few that even make it to First Contact. I don't. They give her a name. I can't think of it, but she's got short hair.
She's
and
a helmsman.
She's always a helmsman. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
She's in both movies. She's in like season 6 and 7 of the series.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Some of the security officers are extras, or like some of the actors stand-ins. Like I saw Michael Dorn stand in as one of the security officers. And I think definitely in First Contact. So
'cause
they're using the same people over and over again.
When did TNG end? Did it end in
89 to 97?
No,
No,
it's like
93.
93.
93?
Yeah, it would have ended right before Generations.
Oh, was it 87 to 93?
Yeah.
Yeah.
May
Okay.
May 94.
94.
May 94 was the end of it.
Oh.
Okay.
Yeah,
So-
so it would have been. I think they were making Generations at the same time as they were finishing.
Yeah.
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 Okay, that makes
But
sense.
yeah, but in oh wait, no, hang on. They have a new helmsman in
Yeah.
First Contact.
Oh, they have Hawk.
and- yeah.
That actor's
Yeah.
also a character actor. He's in Justified, and he's been in a lot of things.
I just watched
He's
him
a
on-
right-wing shithead though in real life, so fuck him.
Yeah.
But
he did, but I did appreciate that he wasn't immediately killed by the Borg.
yes, he got some
made
things to
a
do.
decent distance into the movie, and
Yeah.
I enjoyed that.
Yes.
I
And
don't
he
know
got
how he
cool
snuck up on
symbol.
Picard though.
He even got a couple lines in
Yeah.
too.
Oh, the guy's a good actor. I just I used to
In
like
real
him.
life. Yes.
Yeah, then real life stuff.
Um,
Yeah, he's been on the Arrow. I think he was like one of the big villains on some of those DC Universe
okay.
shows.
mhm. I was watching Red 2 the other day. He's the guy who tries to kill Bruce Willis the whole movie. So, right.
Yes, he's also the bad guy in Paul Blart Mall Cop 2. Oh, that's why I know
that's
that.
the guy we're talking about. Yeah, okay. See, I didn't know who you were talking about until you said it was the villain from Paul Blart Mall Cop 2.
I listened to a
I haven't
podcast
seen
where
the
they make fun
second
of
one.
that
I've
movie.
only ever seen the first.
Oh, you think the first one's bad?
I have not
do.
seen either.
I do.
I have not
Okay,
seen either.
Tracy, I mean, that's your Patreon episode, is making us watch Paul Blart Mall Cop 1 and 2.
Oh,
And then I could do it for hours. I can make fun of that movie for hours.
Josh, I am so in for this, so let's do it.
Oh, God.
Let's torture Tracy. She'll hate it so much.
Josh, I have notes on this one.
Oh, he just comes with a book full of notes.
Yeah. First note, not very good.
Paul Blart barely is developed as a character. Come on, this is ridiculous.
Yeah, not a great movie.
Yeah. I have a conundrum question, just like the last movie.
Mhm.
So with the Borg, the whole thing that the Borg does is go around and assimilating cultures for their technology and uniqueness and making it part of their collective, right?
Mhm.
And usually they're slightly more advanced species, and if they're not advanced species, the Borg tends to just flat out murder the whole civilization
Or
and
ignore
then,
them.
Yeah.
then take over the planet, right? That's what they
Yeah.
do. So my question is, A, I've never understood the obsession with the human race by the Borg, A. But second,
The one that got away. Sorry.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
that might actually be it.
They're
But
jealous lovers.
second,
They've been
them
stymied.
going back in time to take over the Earth, because we see in the time quake that the Earth now changes and it's just covered in Borg or whatever.
The time quake. That's awesome.
I don't see why that makes sense to the Borg. Like, I feel like the Borg would just go and just murder everybody so they, like, humans will get in their way in the future. That I understand, but like taking over and assimilating primitive humans, quote unquote, doesn't make a lot of sense based on what we know about the Borg.
I got two things about that. One, fresh bodies. Doesn't hurt to have more Borg, right?
Based on
Sounds
what we know of the
Swedish.
Borg,
But-
I disagree.
But in Voyager,
Also, yes, yes.
when they're in the
Steve.
Delta Quadrant, there's so many closer planets. Like, especially the first couple seasons before they even bump into the Borg, than Earth. Like, is the Alpha Quadrant? Is that where Earth is?
Mm.
Yeah, Earth is Alpha.
Yeah,
Basically everything in Star Trek is in the Alpha Quadrant.
Yes.
Okay. So we've only seen the Gamma and the Delta as well.
Yes.
Right.
No, the Romulans are in like the Beta Quadrant, so you kind of like
Oh, are they?
you dip into that a bit.
Okay.
Yeah.
But like, it's always been like, especially when Voyager started using the Borg constantly, I started asking questions to myself. Like, this doesn't make any sense. Like, why are the Kazon? Why do they exist? Oh, no, sorry. Forget the Kazon because they're not.
Species 8472.
Yeah. Well, that's the only one that ever beat the Borg, right?
Yeah, but that's because
But-
they went into fluidic space and they couldn't
But
function
Voyager encounters all these civilizations that are super advanced, or like, why did the Borg not go after them? And it always never sat right with me.
Because all their gear fits humans.
Yeah,
there.
because most Borg are human.
Like, right? I mean, it's not, you can't fit that on like a giraffe.
Yeah, Star
Yeah.
Trek Prodigy was the first one to like show Borg as like with other aliens. I find like, or at least make them distinctive enough where
Yeah, so
you
like,
can tell.
I mean,
Oh, that's a Bolian, that's a Andorian. You know,
hand
Huh.
attachments like the previously mentioned crab hand,
Which is what I would
it's
want.
not- yeah, exactly. That's not compatible with other species.
Yeah.
They're like, oh no, it's modular, but only for humans.
Or humanoids. They have a lot of humanoids. They're like, oh, it's a Bajoran. They got crinkly noses, guys. Like, it's fine.
Completely different.
What
Um,
color do Klingons turn when they get infested with nanobots?
They're just ashy. They just need some
Uh.
lotion. Because you do see a couple of Klingon ones you see one in this movie, and you do see a couple of them in Voyager, for example.
Mhm.
And then all of the Borg that you meet are like just weird nose aliens for some reason. I don't know what it is.
Do they have batleth hands?
The one I saw did not.
Is that like just
What
like
a
really
wasted
big
opportunity.
calluses on your palms? Like what is batleth hand? Is that like athlete's foot but for Klingons?
No,
it's
it's that you have a batleth attachment.
Oh, a batleth
Would it like
attachment.
spin
Okay.
like if it was like a drill?
Or would
Gotcha,
it be
okay.
like Edward Scissorhands, where each finger is a batleth? Now, gonna be a hard day, man. It's gonna be a hard day.
But you know what? Really nice shrubs around the ship.
Yeah.
How did Edward go pee?
I don't think
Very
he
carefully.
did.
Every single time.
Um,
How does he wipe his bum?
I don't think he does.
Same answer.
Don't ask the questions you don't want the answers
He
to.
does
No,
have
I
a
want the
bidet,
answer.
though. That's nice.
Sorry.
He's probably like a bear. He just like rubs up on a tree. It's fine.
It's just like a tree in his bathroom.
Maybe he built a special shrub that is the exact right shape.
Maybe
No, I
that's
think
why
you answered it. It's got to be that.
all the walls in the mansion were like all dark and brown and dirty. Don't kinda, that's why. That's why.
Ugh.
There you go. Let's see. I feel I have a comment here that said 600 million dead, question mark. That is like 9% of the Earth's population. I don't know what that is referring to.
Is that how many died in World War III?
That may be how many died in World
Yeah,
War.
That was
Yeah.
they're talking about World War III.
Or that was the population after World War III, maybe.
No, I think it's how many people die in the war.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and yeah.
Okay.
Seems kind of low,
Yeah, Riker says
Yeah.
it, right?
considering, they're like,
Really?
oh man, so many people.
600 million? No, not that much.
I
Okay.
mean, how many people are on? I mean, at the moment we have what, 9 billion,
Mhm.
Yeah.
right?
Hmm.
So
There's only like
it'll only
38
get
million in Canada.
exponentially bigger in the meantime, right? In the next 30 years
Yeah.
or whatever.
Yeah.
So, if there's a giant war that I'm assuming would have nuclear weapons involved.
Yeah, like a
Like,
Chinese city can
Yeah.
like. There's so many Chinese cities we've never even heard of that are 25 million people. Like,
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because when does World War III start? It's like 2060, 2080, something.
Yeah, something like that.
Pretty soon.
Because the eugenics were in the 90s, I think, or the early 2000s, and then
Yes,
World War III is-
1987.
Yeah.
World War III it's lasting from approximately 2026 to 2053.
Whoa.
That's next year, guys.
Now, when
That's
do
next
the
year.
sanctuary
Why is it
cities
so
get emptied out?
accurate?
Yeah. The sanctuary cities were
Sanctuary
last,
No, that
were
happened
last
last
year.
year.
It was 2024.
Yeah, Tracy texted me.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, they were only off by a little bit.
Yes.
Yeah, they're pretty close.
So yeah, we were probably part of a eugenics. No, according to Star Trek, we skipped the eugenics war. Were pushed off because of the thing that happens in Strange New Worlds, and she meets Khan in 2022 instead of 1990 something. So they're doing a Sarah Connor jump ahead thing. It's fine. I'm okay with it. Sorry, I was thinking out loud. Apologize.
You know what I'm not okay
Nobody
with?
followed that.
The Borg Queen spadoinking Data.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Why is she horny?
That whole thing made me real uncomfortable.
Yeah,
Like,
I forgot
real
that scene
uncomfortable.
happened.
Yeah, it made me uncomfortable in the best way.
Ugh.
Hello. Kill the
I did
girlfriend see
write
this.
that the Borg Queen model is awesome. Like the thing with her, like them like lowering her bust
yeah.
onto the
That was all.
thing
That was all
awesome.
practical effects too.
Wow.
I forget where it was, but I saw it was like an interview with Jonathan Frakes, and I think it was like only one camera cut, and it was when she got into the body, I
Yeah.
think, or
And,
or
the
it was
clips slashed on.
yeah.
Yeah.
But it was weird. I think there was something weird about the shooting where they shot it upside down or on a bed or something like that.
Oh.
Yeah, but
the
yeah,
effect,
no,
it looked good.
it was.
it still
yeah,
looked
no,
really
it looks
good.
great. It looks great.
Yeah. So when you said it was practical, I'm like, that makes sense. I think that's why it still looks good.
Yeah,
It's just like a really neat like monster design
Yes.
where she's
Yeah.
this disembodied thing first. It's
Yeah.
it's pretty cool.
Gotta put
awesome.
myself together.
Mhm.
Tracy,
Uh,
are one of your issues with her though that everything we know now up to this point
Mhm.
about the Borg would not suggest a single source leader? They operate just as a hive mind.
doesn't make sense.
Well, I mean, it kind of makes sense because it's a hive mind, but like, I feel like my biggest problem with her is that she doesn't, throughout the scenes that she's in, she doesn't seem to have like an actual goal. So
Yeah.
why are the drones so focused? It was my real issue with it.
Isn't her goal to have a king, like an equivalent? Because like, what I mean, like,
Which
just
also
to
doesn't
kinda-
make any sense. Sorry. Yeah.
Well,
but-
I mean,
Well, Locutus,
Picard
though.
had a name. Yeah, he had
Yeah.
Locutus. Like
Mhm.
he was an individual, which doesn't make sense if he was integrated
That's
into
true.
the Borg.
Yeah.
So like, she
Yeah.
would be the equivalent of that. She wanted Locutus to be her like male counterpart king.
Mm.
Yeah, but like Sean said, if Locutus is part of the collective, then he is not her equal or her king.
But
He's
she's
just
also part
essentially
of the
another
collective.
drone. She is the collective, right?
Well, she's Lenin, right? Like everyone's equal except Lenin.
I mean,
That was
Yeah.
a cool when she was coming in and you couldn't see her and it was just her disembodied voice.
Mhm.
Yeah.
That whole explanation of her, I thought that was great and creepy and intriguing.
yes, yeah.
Like,
Like-
for me, because this is a movie, I let it go. I think it does work in the movie, but
Mhm.
when you really think, like, I don't think it works in Voyager when the Queen shows up.
Yeah.
Like,
And then
like
there's a Borg rebellion, and
Yeah. Like I find I think like with Malcolm McDowell, as the main villain, she is also wasted, right? She doesn't have a lot of screen time, and the screen time she does have is overly sexual, I guess because she's a woman,
Mhm.
and it's all about like making Data make horny noises, and I'm just like, really, is this what we're doing? Like it was just they didn't
The
do
only way they
anything
could
with
get
her.
Brent Spiner to come back.
Yeah.
You can probably thank Brandon Braga and Rick Berman for that.
Probably. But I was like, but she's supposed to be like ruthless and have a goal and do all these things. And like, yes, he's an android and you have to find different ways of doing things, but you're telling me there was no other way for her to entice this creature that has clear vices and wants to your side? There must have been.
Mhm.
That's my complaint about it. I think she's initially a good character. I think she's introduced well. They just don't use her. That's my biggest
Yeah,
problem.
for being like the big bad of the movie, she again doesn't get very much screen time.
Yeah. I actually think Lily gets more screen time than she does, to be honest.
Oh, 100% she
Oh,
does.
but Lily is awesome.
Yeah.
I think she's probably one of the best characters introduced in the movies.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And I was so happy when she showed up in Lower Decks.
Yeah.
Oh my
I was
God,
not
that was
expecting
amazing.
Alfie Woodward to like do that again. And
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was awesome.
yeah.
Um,
Anyways, I think I love Lily. Give her a spinoff.
Again, apparently most of my notes are questions because there is a part where they're in the past, they're walking off the ship, and Picard just says, computer, civilian clothing for whatever time period, and like they're getting on the
They're getting on the turbo
escalator,
lift.
they're getting on the turbo lift and it closes, and I'm like, wait, are they getting transported and the transporter's gonna put
That's my
on?
guess. Yeah, that's what I always thought.
No,
Yeah.
no, he asks for that when they go into the holodeck, like when they're outside of the holodeck. They don't go.
Oh
No,
no,
into-
no. Tracy's
no.
talking about when they beam down to the surface for the first time.
Yeah.
Oh,
He's
I
like
apologize.
Picard,
Yeah.
Picard's like leaving the bridge. He's getting into the
Yeah.
turbo lift to go to the
To the planet, whatever.
to the
yeah.
teleport.
Yeah, no, sorry, I
pads.
was thinking about a different part.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's probably just waiting for them, and the transporter room's probably got a little change room. You know?
Yeah, it's got a little change room. It's got a little replicator.
Yeah.
Well, they probably have other.
How else are you going to spy on pre-industrial civilizations without them knowing?
Wait,
Sure.
I
is
guarantee you,
O'Brien?
Riker
Is
just-
O'Brien still on the ship?
No,
Or is he
he's
gone
on
to Deep Space
DS9.
Nine already?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
DS9.
Oh, sorry, the Defiant. What am I talking about?
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah,
I mean,
he
you're telling me
probably,
Worf couldn't get him on the Defiant, please.
I know that would have been amazing.
That would have been so good.
Yeah.
would,
I love
would have
Even as
stuck.
just a background character, I would
I
have
love
loved that.
O'Brien.
Yeah.
It'd be. I could just picture O'Brien walking into the conference room after the Ahab scene, and just like looking at his looking at all the broken ships, and just like, I'm gonna have to fix those now.
Womp womp.
No, he would show up and they would all be like, "What are you doing here? Go back to the transporter room."
No.
We have Geordi here.
It was very fun to see Robert Picardo for his 3 seconds at the EMH.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Also,
I did not
yeah.
remember that part
Also,
at all.
Ethan Phillips.
Neelix
yeah,
shows up.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
Is it Ethan Phillips? Is that right?
Yeah, Ethan Phillips.
Okay.
Do you know who Nikki the Nose is? I realized this.
He's the Pinciati dad from that 70s show.
Yeah. From the 70s show.
Oh,
Yeah,
really?
Bob.
It is.
Oh.
Bob.
Bob. I could not remember his first name for the life of me, but I remembered Pinciati. I have no idea.
That's much more impressive.
Oh, and we got to talk about James Cromwell,
Oh,
Yes.
yeah.
who is like a Star Trek legend. He's definitely in Deep Space Nine and Next Generation,
Mhm.
and I think he shows up in Enterprise. I could be wrong there.
He's also in Babe.
Oh yeah, come on, babe. But what shocked me was one of the last scenes of the movie where Riker is standing next to him. Now Riker is a tall man, and James Cromwell is towering over him. Like,
There are other tall people.
is he
in the
like
world.
6'6" or something? I never thought of this before. Or I know he's tall, but he's taller than Riker.
Now, are you
Sorry,
sure
Jonathan
that
Frakes?
that Frakes, you don't have the optical illusion because he's like 3 feet wide?
I don't know.
His shoulders,
I should look it up.
looks like he's always wearing football
He's
pads.
6'7" apparently.
Damn,
He is over 2 meters tall.
that is tall.
Mhm.
But he is so good in this movie. I
Yeah.
love
He's a lot of
the
fun.
idea. I mean,
Just everything.
not the idea, but I love like historical figures being real human beings and not what you expect. And like
Yeah.
Picard starts dropping lines about how he's like the greatest man ever. Like, he only cares about the Phoenix. He wouldn't care about anything else. Like just little things, and then you get the speech about he just cares about money and beautiful women.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Love
all the positive hero worship gets to him. He's like,
Yeah.
what are you talking about?
So good.
Yeah.
My
Barkley
favorite-
comes over, is like, "This is really weird, but can I shake your hand, please?"
I
like
was
that
really
Barkley was
hoping Barkley wouldn't get a line. That he would just be like because there's a shot of him like seeing Zephyr Cochrane and being like, and then like running away. And I wanted that to be the only time we see him.
I didn't even see that. I missed that completely.
It was like
Oh.
3 seconds before the other.
Yeah.
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 But there's also like background actors walking past going, "Ooh, Zephyr Cochrane." Like it's
Yeah.
great.
One of my favorite lines in this movie is, "You told him about the statue?"
Yes.
I'd run away too. What are you talking about?
Doc, like, maybe I shouldn't be telling you this, but I went to Zephyr Cochrane High School.
Yeah.
Maybe, Jordy, if you probably shouldn't say it, don't say it.
Right way
This
to do
seems
it.
unimportant, but I'm gonna break the rules of time travel. I went to the high school named after you.
Oh, they break so many. They don't give a shit
They
about
make
the.
so many
yeah.
rules.
Yeah.
So many rules.
Prime what?
Yeah.
Drunk Deanna's a delight. I enjoyed her being drunk.
So much
That
fun.
was great.
I thought she was just a chocoholic.
Turns out 3 shots of tequila before he talks to you will get you there.
Well, she's used to synthahol, right?
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. I wonder if, like, because she is a chocoholic, and if they had like chocolate on Earth and she got a piece there, if she'd be like, this really does taste different than
Oh yeah, it's like
synthesized
real
chocolate.
cacao.
Yeah. She'd be like, I can't have synthesized
like-
chocolate anymore, and she loses her mind.
She's passed out next to the bar, chocolate all over her face.
It's just like the dessert death by chocolate.
Yeah.
Yes.
In present
Right.
day, it only makes you stronger. in the future, it will actually kill a Betazoid
That's right. Yeah.
or a half Betazoid.
When we get back to the ship, Picard has his like tactical fighting vest on, which I thought was very nerdy but fantastic.
It looks awesome.
I love the uniform change. Like these are the first time we see these uniforms, and then they roll them out in Deep Space Nine. But I think they're the best.
Yeah.
I didn't even realize there was a costume change there.
Yeah.
I just assumed that they were still wearing the the blue shoulder pads with the red shirt underneath. I didn't realize there was anything
it's gray,
else.
isn't it? And
it's gray at the top.
The turtleneck is
underneath it.
yeah. I think it's a great uniform.
Yeah. Oh, that reminds me. We didn't mention the uniforms in the last movie. That every other person is wearing a completely different uniform throughout the whole movie. You're just like, what is happening?
The transitional movie.
It's generations. It's all the generations of uniforms.
Yeah, all the old people wear the red. All the new people wear the black.
Yes.
Yeah. They didn't even make them all uniforms. That's why there's a scene where Riker's got his sleeves rolled up because he's wearing Cisco's uniform, Avery Brooks' uniform.
Oh, is it
really?
Just because, like towards the end of the movie, I'm pretty sure.
Is Avery Brooks really tall?
I seem to remember.
He's
that.
not as tall as Frakes.
Oh.
It's probably why the sleeves were rolled up, because they probably didn't reach the proper length or something.
Yeah.
He is, however, 6 feet wide.
Was he some sort of canyonero?
Yeah.
Canyonero.
And here's the point where I was like, since when can Data deactivate his emotion ship? But,
Oh, just so we didn't have to deal with that again.
Yeah.
Yeah. Time passed.
And also like the head tick to turn it off is it's like, really? That's how it's like.
Yeah, that's movie nonsense.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
they're making
that's a good scene though.
To everybody, everybody knows what he's doing, not just Star Trek viewers.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the equivalent of our "Shut Up, Wesley" moment in this movie, right? Where we're just like, Data, turn off your emotion chip, please. Okay. And we're like, thank God. Somebody finally told him to stop doing that.
Well, you didn't want to hear him say 35 jokes in the middle of a firefight?
No, his Joe Piscopo material does not work on me.
Actually, you know what? If he was if he busted open a coolant duct or something at some point in this movie, and he was like, chill out, I would have been there for it.
Wasn't that really reckless of Data to hit was it plasma coil or something? No.
It was plasma coolant.
Coolant, yeah. He didn't warn Picard, and then the whole room gets flooded with it.
Mm-hmm.
The second it touches organic matter, it's gone. I don't know. It just Data. Give him a sign or a wink or something. You're gonna do this.
Just something or other. Yeah.
I figured that the warning would have been the torpedoes missing the Phoenix.
Yes, I feel like that is what happened.
Oh, that's a good point. Yeah, when she's like, Data, and then okay, yeah, good point.
Does he say something cool at that point? I can't remember.
I don't think so.
Because there's a couple one-liners.
Worf has a great line.
Yeah, Worf has
blows up the deflector dish.
Assimilate this.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah, it's good
and he's got the Borg arm tied to his leg. Oh, yeah, great.
I feel like Data says something before he smashes the coil.
Does he?
Resistance
I can't remember what it is,
futile.
Though.
I think he says resistance is futile.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
So, wait, that is the part. He says, this is one of the first times he says futile, and I was like, no, it's futile, guys. Futile.
It's censor, it's not censor.
No, but he's putting his own android spin on it.
I don't know.
He's saying it's
because
textbook.
he's not the Borg.
Yeah.
Because the Borg say resistance is futile, but he's specifically being like, I'm not the Borg. Resistance is futile.
I'm gonna come back on you with that, because when we first meet 7 and 9, she says futile all the time, and it makes me angry every time she says it.
Well, that's why she's not a Borg anymore.
But she was Borg at the time.
She was. Oh, at the time. Oh, I see.
Yes.
At what point can you not be turned back, by the way? Because Picard's killing crew members left and right in this movie.
Or Ensign Lynch.
And I sort of just go I mean, you got deprogrammed and 7 and 9 got deprogrammed, and they're on a ship in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah. So I think that's also one of the reasons why Like, I know Lily doesn't know it, but when she brings it up that you're just like killing your own crew members, it's like, it's true. You're mad at the Borg. I get it. But you were Borg, got deprogrammed. Therefore, you know there's a way to save your crew, and you're just not doing it. Or trying to think of a solution.
Yeah.
You're just
It's
full
cost
on murdering
prohibitive.
everybody.
But so when the Borg Queen dies, all the Borg die, right?
They
On the
short
ship.
circuit.
Yeah.
Which I don't really understand, but
Well, they would be the only ones alive in that time. I guess that would be the logic, but I think that it's also been established in other things that they can communicate to each other through time. So I don't know.
yeah,
Yes.
it's inconsistent.
Oh, there's a whole Enterprise episode that follows up from this movie, where
Really?
like the
Really?
Borg, like yeah, part of the Borgs that blew up in the sphere, like landed in Antarctic or in the Arctic Circle
Uh-huh.
and are embedded in ice. And
Oh.
in Archer's time, they defrost these. It's like an Encino Man, you know?
Well, how
They
do they?
defrost them.
Oh,
So what do they get their memories wiped? How do they?
No, they just start going about their business. Like, got to get to the Delta Quadrant, so they get off Earth and they start like just taking on other ships and like assimilating them essentially.
Oh, I didn't know
Yeah.
Enterprise did or I forgot they did a Borg episode. I'll get to it eventually.
Yeah,
Does
Yeah.
Archer blame the Vulcans for it?
Yeah, he just-
Like they didn't tell us.
he is so Vulcan racist.
wow.
I get it. 100
I'm
years
here
of Vulcan
for it, though.
oppression will do that, you know.
They've held us back for too long.
They didn't tell us everything.
But also with that scene with the coolant, like I understand that part of the Borg Queen and the Borg are still flesh and blood or whatever, but since most of her seems to be robotics and turns into the Terminator when the flesh is turned away, how come she's not still alive?
Well, she like you see
a
her
way.
skeleton, like the skull and
Spine
the
thing.
spine moving. I
Yeah.
guess she's sort of alive.
Yeah.
And
But
they
is it
break
just
the-
'cause
But
her
also, how is
shoulders
it
aren't in
moving
it?
with no muscles?
Yeah. I mean, I think it looks great though. Like
It looks
practical.
cool.
Yeah,
It looks
for
cool.
sure.
Yes.
Always,
Agreed.
I'm always on team practical.
and
Yeah.
it is like
Better.
a pretty good like villain death,
Mhm.
right? Like
Yeah.
she dissolves. Like that's a pretty good.
Yeah.
Like I think I've said this on this show before, but like a lot of these things, like the punishment for like the crimes that they've committed in a lot of movies is like not satisfying.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But like this one felt pretty good. I felt
Pretty good.
pretty satisfied. It was cool.
You liked it when
We saw
Picard
his
broke her
Getting flaked
spine?
away.
Yeah, felt like an ending.
Oh my God.
I mean, it's no bridge fall.
Picard, did he get ripped for this movie? Like he was climbing the
Holy
pipes?
shit! Yes,
Mhm.
he has pipes.
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
he
he's
looks
cleaning
great.
all those vacuum cleaner tubes.
Yeah. There's just all the network cables, right?
Question: do those cables have like a mind of their own? Because it kind of like
It seemed like it.
if it wasn't that they had a mind of their own, maybe that was just like some like bad CG happening there.
it was-
with, like
they-
the cables
they
they
were
looked like
going to. Yeah, they were going to look for her, and he just
they were
grabbed it.
trying to pick her
Yeah.
up. Yeah, okay.
They were like
all right.
poison
Yeah.
ivy vines.
Yeah,
Okay.
okay.
Yeah.
What was I getting to? Oh, so I did make a comment when they first encounter the Borg and they're walking through. They're real close to the Borg. And they're like, they're not going to attack us until they think we're a threat. And my note is, I'm like, hey, why don't they use a knife and slit some throats or Seagal them and break a neck? And then 2 seconds later, Data breaks a neck. And then, like, half an hour later, somebody stabs one of the Borg. I don't know.
I would
Well,
walk
then
up to a
they're a threat.
replicator and ask for an acid gun, or I don't know, like just think out of the box here. Like
Yeah.
Worf's batleth obviously hurts them.
Mhm.
Everyone
Yeah.
gets samurai swords. I don't know, it's something different.
Data choke slams one of them off of
Oh yeah, he breaks one of their necks.
Next. Yeah.
yeah.
You know
Well,
what the
yeah.
problem
Well,
was?
Data
Worf-
does that, but he also like throws them off like a floor in engineering, like right around the warp core.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. What are you going to say,
No.
Steve?
I was going to say Worf isn't living on the Enterprise V, so they don't have a quarters just filled with swords and knives.
Yeah.
That's true.
But that's what the replicator's for.
Chemical weapons. I don't know what else Worf has in there.
Wait, so
I don't know. How about is it Deck 16? Open up all the airlocks, shoot them out
Yeah.
into space.
Yeah.
Like, I just thought they could have been a little more.
Or well, even when they go into the holodeck and they turn off the safety controls or whatever,
Just keep
you
luring Borg in.
but they also realize that bullets, they can't defend themselves against bullets. It's like energy weapons they defend themselves against. So you can replicate a bunch of guns that shoot projectiles and take them all out.
I feel like that's a safety feature of replicators, though.
So you can't replicate weapons?
Yeah, because what's to stop someone from just replicating a bunch of phasers and performing a coup?
Yeah, but I
Yeah.
feel like if the captain is there, the captain would have authority for that.
I'm
inclined to agree.
You can replicate the phaser, you just can't replicate the power bank. So it's the way I would see that.
Like
Yeah.
what this movie should have been was just a very long Home Alone sequence where they had to set a whole bunch of different kinds of traps
Micro
for all
machines,
the
no.
boards. Yeah, exactly.
There's like paint cans
they
on
got
the
one.
ceiling.
Yeah, exactly. Bowling balls. Yeah, they defend against once, but guess what? Now we got nails on the stairs.
Just like drop a sack of marbles in the hall while you're running away.
Everything works one time.
Again, I've just
They've
been going through my
adapted.
notes.
They don't lift their feet as high, so they won't step on the marbles anymore.
Again, I've just been going through my notes. Do you guys have any notes for this?
No notes.
No. Oh, that's right. You have no notes.
Classic Josh.
I had very few notes. My notes were like, did Data and the Borg Queen Spadoinkov screen?
I think they
And
did.
I feel like the answer is yes there.
I
I hope Data did.
Are Cochrane and What's-Her-Face a thing?
Oh, yeah.
I didn't
Really?
get
Yeah, I
that
think
impressed.
so.
They held
Yeah.
hands at the end. Like, that seems more than a friend.
Yeah, but it also
He was also hitting
comes
on
across
Deanna.
as like a holy shit.
Yeah,
animal.
Yeah.
That's kind of
Yeah.
like this is an intense moment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, do you think Data did it because that would be fun? Like he was just like, well, not gonna lose out on anything here.
Hang on. Was his motion chip on or off at that point?
It was on.
Oh, it was
Oh,
on.
yeah, she forced it
it
on.
was on. She forced it. She forced it on.
Yeah.
He forced it on him.
Yep.
He's a scientist above all, right? So he's
He's just
Yeah.
like, what's it like when I have skin?
Oh, I would love to read
Long
Data's
live
report.
the new flesh.
only
sex with
area,
the
the
Borg
first
Queen.
area they did.
You know there's fanfic out there for this. What are you talking? There has to be.
100%.
I think this
Skin
is
was
in
that
the
they were
text
putting on
of the
Data.
movie.
Was
Yeah,
that
that's
the
true.
crew's skin they were putting on Data?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, probably.
It must be.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because it's like you don't need it anymore. That's a bionic arm now.
Mhm.
The makeup / prosthetics on half skin job Data,
Mhm.
pretty awesome.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah.
Like he looked really good. Like
Little,
weird and
little
pink.
freaky, little
Yeah.
freaky.
It was good.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looked.
It's
But it
also
looked-
the
it
way
was-
they shot it, right? Like they must have had to like shoot it at the perfect angle to make it look.
Look like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I also
Especially
realized
like the skin
Yeah.
looked more pink than it should.
Yeah.
Also,
It looked
A little
fresh. It was fresh
it
skin.
was fresh skin, yeah. But I
It-
also realized after they pulled off his, because at first I was like, oh, his hair is just messy on top. But after he loses the flesh on his face and stuff, you realize like it went like all the way back to his head. Therefore, there's a
Yeah.
piece of hair that was also, you
and
know, somebody
and
else's
then
hair.
when he's on the bridge at the end of the movie and he turns around and he's still missing that chunk and his eye
Yeah.
is completely black.
Yeah.
Actually that was like almost more disturbing than the Borg implants in the eyes.
But do you think his eye on that side was they put like a real eyeball in there? That's why it was like
Nah.
gone?
I don't think so.
No.
Maybe they took out the like fake looking eye thing.
Wait, no,
And, like,
Tracy's
put in
right though.
Other eyes, and
Yeah,
then
why would he lose his eye?
sensors are still there.
But then why would his eye be black in the scene
Well,
after?
that's still the socket where the fake his like glass eye goes.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
it looked like they just put like a rubber eyeball in there that was black. I guess obviously because they can't actually remove Brent Spiner's real eye. And so
Yeah.
they just
I mean, he said no.
Frakes fought for it, but you know.
Yeah, no, it's just like
Alas.
a line must be drawn here.
No further. Yes.
I heard that Frakes had to leave the room because he kept laughing at that scene.
Oh no. Amazing. Yeah. I mean, the delivery does come across kind of like you understand it, but it really does come across kind of like it's not working somehow.
Like
Like it,
slightly campy.
yeah, yeah. Or like, I mean, like Patrick Stewart is known for stage play, and it came across, I think, maybe as like stage
Hmm.
play projecting because it's a little heavier. Maybe
Well,
that's what it
that's
was,
like,
but
oh, what's sorry, I have a tangent. But who's the British actor who he's in What We Do in the Shadows, he's in the IT Crowd.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah,
Matt Berry,
Matt
something like
yeah,
Berry,
that.
yeah.
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 I was what was it? Oh, it was like a viewing at a, a show for oh my God, Tracy, I'm so sorry for your editing right now. Um, what? Okay, so he's like a hospital. He's like a doctor in a hospital, and it's like
Yes, I've seen this.
yeah,
like a
Like it's
comedy?
making fun of doctor shows and
yeah, but it's also like it's like B tier horror. So it's like
it's like
uh
grindhousey,
yeah, a little
right?
bit. And so
Is
so
Yeah.
it's
it
like
is this like Children's Hospital? Is it that one?
no, 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 no,
No, it's not that.
no.
Okay.
It's so like Matt Berry is a doctor in this hospital. It's actually a movie, I think, or a TV show that they're recording. Um and it's like it's bad B horror where it's like this woman is like this they're introducing this woman and the woman's walking down a hall and then somebody throws a black cat in front of her and so you see from an open door this person's arms come out into the frame as she like they throw a black cat onto the floor in front of her and then the cat's like get out and then the girl's like did that cat just say something to me? Huh, I wonder. That's really
What
odd.
is this that you're talking
Um,
about?
I've seen
Oh,
clips of this
oh.
on YouTube.
Garth Marenghi's Dark Place. It's called
Yeah.
Garth Marenghi's Dark Place.
Yeah, it's a TV show. I've heard
Yeah,
Oh,
TV
it is a TV
show.
show.
It was like 6 or 10 episodes or something like that.
yeah, one
Oh,
of the
it's one of
longest
those.
running British series.
Yeah.
Nice.
So anyways, I was at a to continue with the story now that we figured out the title. Um, I was at a screening of it in Toronto here, and Matt Berry was in town filming What We Do in the Shadows, and somebody who was going to the screening met him at Steve's music shop and was like, "Hey, there's a screening of Garth Marenghi's Dark Place going down like tomorrow. You should like show up or something." And so he did, and he did like a little Q&A.
Oh, that's
And
great.
so somebody asked him, it was like, why is your acting so like over the top and like why are you yelling all the time?
Once
And he's
again,
like,
Q&As are always death.
Yeah.
but like this one actually like kind of makes sense because it's like oh well it's like I don't really know. It's just like I guess like I growing up I listened to like all of these like stage plays and stuff like that where it's like you need like it's like stage actors it's like you need to project your voice
Enunciate.
and so in the early days of television and like film it's like people would just act like they were on a stage and the microphone would
Mhm.
like pick them up because it's like they're being so loud and stuff and so like that's how he has this like very distinctive like
Sound and
always
voice.
shouting sound.
Mhm. Mhm.
Anyways,
Well,
feel free to cut all that.
well, I've looked at the show, and even Stephen Merchant's in it, and also Richard Iode is also in it,
Oh, love him.
Yeah.
which is
Oh,
Yeah.
love them all.
well, we'll have to look this one up then.
Iwate rules.
Uh,
And he's a good director too. He does very depressing stuff. It's great.
Yeah.
What does he
Yay.
direct?
Mayor.
He directed Submarine, and he directed a movie called The Double.
Don't know either.
Yeah, Submarine is sort of like a Wes Anderson-y kind of thing. Just
Okay.
about like a weird like teenage kid and his depressive father that he's also depressed.
Mhm.
And then the double, I think, is a adaptation of a Russian novel. I can't remember which one though.
One of the depressing ones? Got it.
One of the upbeat ones, but it's depressing by our Western canon.
Yeah. Okay, we're gonna jump back into talking about Star Trek. Yay? Yes? No?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
We have to.
Another good Worf line that I wrote down. I am a Klingon.
Oh,
It's when Lily meets him
Classic.
and she's like freaked out, and he
She's
just says,
freaked out.
"I am a Klingon," and then end of scene because it is perfect.
Yep.
It
Um,
is.
Picard calling Worf a coward like broke my
Oh.
heart. Like
Oh,
it
yeah.
does every time. Because I know how much they respect each other, and just like hearing that from like someone you like your mentor, that would be awful. I love the look he gives Picard before like when he's about to evacuate the ship before he apologizes. It's great.
Yeah.
Mm.
He
Yeah, there's
wasn't
some good-
letting
there's
him
some
get
really good
away
Worf
with
stuff
it.
in this.
His apology was not gonna be that simple. He was just like, I'm sorry, you only meant you didn't mean some of it? What does that mean? I'm like,
Yeah.
oh.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Which
yeah.
parts?
He did give a bad apology technically. Like
Well, he's
Yeah.
the
Sorry.
captain.
I know, but
He gotta say whatever he wants.
he was in the
Yeah.
wrong. Like Worf
Oh,
is 100% right
100%.
there.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
Agreed. Agreed.
I really like the Moby Dick stuff.
hmm
The Moby Dick
Yeah.
scene is great.
It was
It's like
really
I've
good
never
scene.
read it.
Yeah. No,
Neither
me
have
neither.
I. So
I read it in school, but I just know what I know from pop culture. I don't remember any of it.
nah,
I did
I
not read
like.
it. I was
I
never
only
forced
ever
to.
read Shakespeare's tragedies. That was it.
Yeah.
I didn't even get to read a comedy in high school. It was terrible.
I mean,
Oh.
I read Midsummer Night's Dream, but I still think I haven't read a comedy.
Wait, isn't Merchant of Venice a comedy technically? So I agree with Josh's statement. It's
So is Taming of the Shrew, but it's not funny at all.
yeah.
She was such a shrew.
I do like all the stuff when they finally get on the Phoenix and they're sitting
Oh,
there.
it's awesome.
They're about to take off. They're flipping switches, chit-chatting with each other, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Love it. Love
We
it.
got a warning light on the secondary intake booster.
Boop, boop, boop.
Just
Flick,
just
flick.
ignore it.
Just ignore it.
Well, what else
It's
are
a
you
check
gonna do?
engine light.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was so excited for when he put the music in. I was like, oh, more Shooby Dooby or whatever that song is.
Yeah.
Like, I was like, oh,
Yeah.
it's a real song. Damn it.
That they
I know,
only
a real
made
song
for
that I
about
love.
20 seconds of.
Yeah, Magic
They had to
Carpet
cut
Ride, I
off
think.
before the good
Yeah.
part.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, I want more Shooby
Magic Carpet
Dooby.
Ride. I feel like there's a better Steppenwolf song for that.
Like Wolf Mother or Wolf something
Um,
or Woman.
I don't know.
I don't know that many.
I don't know
Yeah.
why we're talking
I
about
don't
the
know.
bad guy from that Justice League movie.
Oh, sorry, it took me a second.
Yes. But I do think it's still weird that all of these these movies and like the J.J. Abrams ones essentially play classical music. Because at that point in time, that Steppenwolf song is like well over 100 years old.
yeah.
I'm just like,
Oh,
why?
older. Oh no, sorry, you're right. You're right. It's only 100.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
why
yeah.
are you playing this? Like, what is happening here?
You know how we all rock out to the Chattanooga Choo Choo all the time?
Oh, cause it's the bomb.
That's your old reference.
When-
I for
what-
one love the Steve Miller Band.
hmm
When was World War III though, right? Like, so maybe not much music was produced after a bunch
You
of
know
people
what though? He's been
walked
listening to
out.
like
That's-
World War III propaganda music, like all that World War II music that was
Yeah.
during those 5 years. Anyways,
Yeah.
Well, maybe when the Shooby Dooby song came out, they were just like, we can't top it.
no,
This
you
is-
really can't. It's so
This is
good.
the top.
This is the best we could do.
Yeah.
They're like, all the good music was destroyed in the war.
Mhm.
Therefore,
He
this
only
is what
has
you
the
have.
one CD
It was the
left.
Spotify wars.
What else? My other note is I find the bridge of the E very small. It seems
It is really
very-
small. I had the same
It's
note.
how you use it.
Yeah. Was it Con and Helm are really close together.
Yes.
They have like the armrest is like shared almost.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Well, because everything is like
It's one level too.
chopped up. Everything's in like is modular on
Was
the
it
bridge.
one level?
I don't remember a back like you know how Worf stands like in security on the D
Yeah, he's up
behind.
he's on
I
higher
don't think
level.
that was on the
No, no. Every
no because
bridge is 2 levels.
no because there's a
Even the
shot at
old
the end when they're
Enterprise.
evacuating and maybe I had this wrong. Someone look it up, please. But
I feel like
I remember
Sean is
thinking like,
right.
oh,
I
it's
don't
just one
think it's
level.
two level. I don't think it's two levels.
Like it like I'm because I'm watching Enterprise right now. It kind of reminded me of the Enterprise bridge, just a bit bigger.
There might be like
It's
a slight rise,
yeah.
No, I'm
like a
looking
like
at
a
it.
half step or
I'm
something.
looking at it. There's like it's 2 steps up to the highest level.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh.
So
It's
like the
really weird.
captain's, yeah,
Yeah,
it
yeah.
is
So
very
that's why I
weird.
clocked it because I because I'm used to bridges being a couple level like at least.
It's
Mhm.
You know,
probably because you can
Y-
light it like differently. Because like on
Yeah,
the 2 level thing, it would work with the flat lighting, but the other one
yeah.
would probably look really weird.
you got
So
like 3 feet of
yeah,
separation
Hmm.
I feel like it's a
on a
tripping
normal bridge.
hazard, you know?
Yeah,
Yes,
right.
it's a tripping hazard. Yeah,
For
because
the
you
amount of
know,
times the inertial stabilizers go out, I think it's a problem.
I'm sorry, the
Oh,
other bridge
did
was
we talk?
wheelchair accessible. Just letting you know.
We didn't talk about the console explosions that happen in the first like in Generations. People flying across the bridge
Yeah.
like
yeah,
it
they
happens
should
two or three
install
times.
seatbelts.
Yeah,
Yes.
Yeah.
Starfleet, you need fucking seatbelts.
I mean, they do
I
show
mean,
up in the J.J.
counterpoint.
Abrams one.
Oh wait, the explosion might just like keep you in the chair and then break your back or neck.
Well,
Yeah,
I would say it
burn
was
your
like
face.
no. I would be more concerned about burns.
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
yeah.
So
All
what you're
the
saying is they see the flames and then throw themselves backwards to avoid it?
yeah.
yes,
Okay,
because if you're
fair enough.
strapped to a chair, your console explodes. Like all helmsmen will just have no eyebrows. Like it'd just be a
Mhm.
big.
Not to mention if that L-Cars panel is like made of glass, like that's shattering and flying in your face, and you're not
Mhm.
wearing safety glasses.
Well, I don't know why they keep all the fireworks underneath that.
Got to store them on the
It just
bridge. Keep them
seems,
safe.
yeah, no, that's we never know when we're gonna have to celebrate.
Yes.
First
My
contact day is not for another 9 months.
It's
Why
not
we
for
keep...
24 hours.
Oh yeah, true.
my comment about the bridge on the E was my last note. So whatever you guys have to say about these two movies, go right
All right,
ahead.
best
Any
one-liners. What are the best one-liners in this movie? We got assimilate this.
That's
We got you
probably my
told them
favorite.
about the statue.
Hmm. Oh,
um
I love the joke about the leak. Jordy
Oh,
doesn't understand. He's taking a piss.
yeah.
yes.
That's not a one-liner, but
But then when he catches on, it's great. Like
Yeah.
it's a good scene.
That's funny.
Yeah, that is the most accurate to Geordie's character of just not understanding social cues.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's never been very good at that, so it's fine.
Yeah, he followed him after he said that and then told him about his girlfriend that he'd left on the ship.
oh, in the holodeck,
Yeah.
the proms.
Yeah. Let me
All
tell you
right.
about this other misunderstanding I had once. I'll walk with you.
God. He's like,
Don't judge me till I finish the story. It's not gonna help you, Jordy.
all right. So, well, what are our final thoughts on these two movies? I guess I could start with Tim.
Oof. Okay. Generations. I don't hate on it as much as a lot of people. It's definitely maybe a little rough. And after having this conversation, like maybe that's lowered my impression of it a little
Oh,
bit.
no.
You're
Yeah.
welcome.
like- But like it's still fairly enjoyable. I don't know why I said fairly. Like it's still enjoyable. Like it's a fine movie. It's fine.
Okay.
Um First Contact, however, A plus. I did have notes, but hashtag good times.
Great. Okay. Steve?
Yeah, I feel similar about Generations, but Sean, I'm also with you. I remember going to the theater to see it. I also remember going to see it in the theater like another time, and I think it was like me and one other person because it had been out for a while at this point.
Yeah.
It was,
Yeah, I saw it a couple times too.
yeah, and like just watching the ship crash, that was amazing. Like I loved it.
We didn't even talk
at
about
this
that.
time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Oh, that's
my
true.
God,
We
we
didn't.
did not. And how
So
it like
Yeah.
how it like blew up in this weird section.
And when it finally
We
comes
just-
to a stop, everyone just flies forward in the bridge.
We just
Well,
didn't
which
have
is
enough
great.
time.
Yeah.
Let's
We just didn't have enough time.
Let's finish closing remarks. Then we'll talk about the crash.
Yeah, I'm
and
sorry.
then we can edit it.
Okay, sorry.
We'll fix it in
I love-
post.
All right. So I love the crash. But it did feel more like an episode to me, like a couple episodes strung together. And as an episode, I liked it. But as a movie, I feel like it needed more. Like First Contact just felt like more urgent. Like they got right to the story. They introduced the characters and talked about the characters while they did all that, which was great. But it was sad to see the Enterprise D go. I like that Deanna had to take the helm. Like poor Deanna, she's always responsible for crash and shit. Yeah. And then First Contact I loved. Like it was 1996, so I remember watching like the E News or whatever that show's called.
Yeah.
And it had like behind the scenes clips, it had like the first exclusive images and all that. And I was so excited for it. And I think it holds up. Even people that, don't like Star Trek movies can watch First Contact and have a blast. The effects were great. That whole scene with the Borg cube coming in, it's so ominous with that music. It's perfect. The Klingon overture for Worf, awesome. The Defiant getting like the crap kicked out of it was fantastic. There's some hidden gems too. The Falcon is in the background of that fight.
What's the Falcon?
The Millennium Falcon.
Wait,
Really?
what?
Oh,
what?
Yeah, it's in the background of
that's the wrong series.
Because ILM was doing the effects, and they were also at the same time in 1996 redoing the original Star Wars trilogies.
God.
Holy
Release
shit!
on digital
Yeah,
video disc.
Google the image.
You can barely see it.
You would never see it like if you're watching it.
Yeah.
Well, there's an R2D2 in Star Trek 2009.
Yeah,
I
I
don't
learned
know.
that recently.
Oh yes.
I saw that video and I disagree, but
It looks close enough.
But yeah, that whole scene coming out, I must have worn out the VHS tape. I had the VHS tape too that had like one of those holograms on the front. So you turn it one way, Picard and Data are the Borg, and the other way they're not.
Awesome.
I think I still
That's
have it
cool.
somewhere. So I have a lot of fond memories of it, and I think it holds at the movie. So yeah, in my top 3, I think First Contact is.
yeah.
Same.
Let's go with Josh. Josh, what do you think?
Yeah, I think my views are pretty similar to other people. I think Generations has some problems. I also think that, like, as I said before, like, I think you could cut a pretty decent episode out of it. Just sort of like cut away some of the fat on it and, stream it down to like 1 or 2 plot lines and it'd be pretty solid. There's definitely stuff that is enjoyable in it. I know it's not wretched by any means. Like, it's far better than Final Frontier, which I still think is offensively terrible.
It is. It is.
Oh, just
So-
wait.
Yeah. I think I'm on record saying fuck that movie. I mean, and then for First Contact, that might be my number 1 or number 2 on that list if we're going to do a ranking. I truly love that movie. It's super fun. It feels like a real movie first rather than like a Star Trek movie. I rented it from the Super Club Videotron when I was like 9. So that's my first time seeing it. Which is like the equivalent of like a Rogers rental store in Quebec. So yeah, no, I have a lot of fond memories for it. It holds up really well. It feels like a cool action movie that has like a Star Trek skin on it, which I think is pretty rad.
Yeah.
No notes.
Sean?
Okay, so First Contact, yes, A+. It's probably my second or third favorite Star Trek movie. probably third. But there's nothing else I can add with that one. But Generations, I will defend. Like, I know it's not a great movie, but boy, do I love it. It's so much fun. And also as the first Star Trek movie, it gave me, because it was, I think, good and successful. It gave me three more. Now the last two, but I don't know. Like, not much more to say than what everyone else has said about it.
Yeah.
But I think of the five of us, I like it the most.
Generations?
Yeah. Oh, no,
Yeah.
sorry. Like of the five of us, I like it a lot.
Mhm.
Like, I do agree. Like, for me, the issues I have are when they go into the Nexus, and
Mhm.
I find there's some pacing issue. Even though I do like the stuff with Kirk and Picard, I think it goes on a bit too long, and I actually miss the crew. Like,
Mhm.
so
It
I do
definitely
think the movie
slows.
focuses a bit too much on Kirk, even though I love Kirk.
Yeah, we definitely do not spend a lot of time with the main cast in
No,
Generations, that's for sure.
you barely get anything with Beverly. Like, she
Mhm.
gets a couple lines here and there. She gets through the self-destruct sequence, but
Yeah.
oh no, sorry,
That's
that's
Ronin too, though.
sorry,
That's
second movie.
that's First Contact.
You're right.
Yeah.
You're right. That's First Contact. Sorry, but I mean, she's barely used in both movies.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't hate either of these movies. Do I love Generations? No. Do I hate it? Definitely not. Like, I find the movie watchable. That
Mhm.
is 90% of the work then, if it's watchable. Um, I really do enjoy First Contact, but both of these movies, since I've been forced to think about it for this podcast, have paradoxical questions in them that has got me a little bit like, does this actually work? But if you turn your brain off and see like Borg ships blow up and whatever, and the Nexus come over and take you away, and creepy Victorian children at Christmas, it's fine. It's totally fine. I like it. I like it. Well, I think that's it. Thank you so much, guys, for coming back on and doing this again. We do have one more episode to go where we'll be talking about the next two Star Trek movies. So that's Insurrection and Nemesis. And we're going to have a great time watching those for sure.
I'm giving you a thumbs up right now.
Yay! Okay, well, until next time, that's it. See you.
Thanks.
Thanks.
Live long and prosper.
Engage.
Bye.
Bye. Well, that's it for this episode of Off My Shelf. Until next time, you can follow along on Instagram and Twitter at ohmyshelf, or you can send an email to ohmyshelf@gmail.com. This episode was produced and edited by me, Tracy, with original theme song by Ori Falconer. Like, subscribe, leave a comment wherever you listen to this podcast. Come back next time to see what falls off my shelf.